Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. My name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my amazing pleasure to welcome all our many listeners, not only those who tune in to Radio 4 and Radio 7, but also on the World Service and on the Internet. And also it's a huge pleasure to welcome the 4 exciting, talented, skilled and experienced players who have joined us this week. And sitting on my right we have that versatile and highly talented and individual comedian Paul Merton. Beside him we have the distinctive personality, a man who's achieved so much in many areas of our public life, and also on Just a Minute, that is Clement Freud. And seated on my left we have a man who's a writer, an author, a comedian, actor, a novelist, a producer, a director. In other words, it's the multi-talented Stephen Fry. And beside him there is another very talented comedian and also a very humorous writer, that is Tony Hawks. And would you please welcome all 4 of them? As usual, I'm going to ask them to speak on a subject that I will give them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. Beside me sits Janet Staplehurst, and she is going to run the stopwatch for me and blow a whistle when 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Drill Hall, which is a venue near Soho in the centre of London. And Stephen, your turn to begin. The subject: my favourite proverb, starting now.
It's interesting I should be given this, because some time ago I was actually asked to research the question of... sorry,
yes.
I got all excited. So sorry.
That was hesitation,
it was
yes.
a mess.
And,
Yes.
So, Tony, you've got the subject,
landing.
my favourite proverb, and there are 55 seconds starting now.
I've actually made up my own proverb, which is called "You're never too old to be told off by a park keeper." Because, in fact, that would be true of life. How we go through stopping with our due...
Paul challenge.
Well, what is he talking about? How do we go through life stopping it, just picking words at random?
Well, that's
throwing a dictionary at the microphone.
That's the nature of building a sentence.
But I don't think
Pick them at random.
The sentence wasn't going anywhere. I mean, so what is within the rules of Just a Minute? Paul, what is your challenge within the rules of Just a Minute?
Oh, well, it was deviation from common sense, from English understanding.
All right, I'll give it to you. Benefit of the doubt on this time. But the benefit may come back to you in a minute. I try to balance it. 40 seconds available. My favourite proverb, Paul, starting now.
People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones is one of those unusual proverbs that doesn't really make a great deal of sense to me, because I don't imagine there are many folks that live in a home.
Stephen, challenge.
That was live, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
People
I was concentrating on glass house coming up. I was going to say Crystal Cottage.
Well, you didn't say it in the round, but you're going to laugh saying outside the round. Yes, it is that. And you're letting the listeners know the way you think in this game,
Yes.
which is very interesting, Paul.
Yeah.
30 seconds. 30 seconds, Stephen, with you now on my favourite proverb.
A bird's bush is worth 2 in your hand, or something similar comes to mind. There's a genuine English proverb, which is, there's many a good cock comes out of a tattered bag. And... that's you'll find in any dictionary of proverbs, as is children suck the mother, but when they're grown up they suck the father. That's a repetition. That is a genuine proverb.
Clement has challenged.
Repetition.
Of what?
Word ending in UCK.
That's right. I have to know, in case you said something else. I quite agree with you, Clement. He did repeat that word, but he couldn't have got the laugh without it. Clement, you have my favourite proverb. You have 11 seconds starting now.
It is a mark of insincerity of purpose to seek an emperor in a low-down tea shop, was Confucius' remark, which I think is a splendid proverb. Better...
So Clement Freud was then speaking as the whistle went, gained an extra point. He's now equal in the lead with Stephen Fry and Tony Hawks. Paul Merton's trailing a little. Just to digress for a moment, there's a very amusing only amusing moment that ever happened in a programme I once did called Sale of the Century. And I asked, because of what Paul said about glass houses, I asked the question for £1, what should you not do if you live in a glass house? And the woman pressed a buzzer and said, take a bath. If it had been a comedy show, she'd have gotten points, but she didn't. I had to take them away from her. Tony, would you take the next round? How to do well in examinations. 60 seconds, and as usual, starting now.
Don't pay any attention to examination questions that end with the word discuss, because you're not allowed to. I was sitting there and the invigilator came over and said, "No discussion, Hawks. Answer this question in a written manner." I was most up...
Stephen Challenge.
So I think it was two questions. Answer this question and any question that ends with the word discuss.
Exactly. Well done. And you have the subject. You're not many friends at the moment, but you're playing the game extremely skillfully. 43 seconds with you, Stephen. How to do well in examinations, starting now.
In my experience, the way to do well in examinations is to cheat. And by that, I mean to answer the questions properly and to be good at exams, which is so unfair because in life you're not asked to be good at these examinations at all.
Tony Challenge.
A repetition of good.
Oh,
Yes, indeed there was. And Tony, you got the subject back. You have 32 seconds. How to do well in examinations, starting now.
Write all the answers on your arms, like David Beckham has done. I've noticed that recently. They clearly give him the team talk and he jots it down. And why the hell not? Of course, examinations can be very trying, testing times for young people. They're under enormous pressure. I feel for them, particularly as the summer comes on and how...
Paul Challenge.
Summer comes on. we visited Somerset briefly, I think. Summer comes on.
Yeah. I think we call that deviation from English
absolutely.
as we understand it.
Yeah.
So you've got in with 9 seconds to go, Paul, on how to do well in examinations, starting now.
During my A-level examination, history in fact, I did cheat. I wrote down all the dates on tiny bits of paper and hid them around my person. So therefore, written...
That must be the first time anybody's got a round of applause for admitting they cheated. Paul Merton, you got the point for speaking as whistle went, and other points, and now you're equal Clement Freud. You're 1 point behind Stephen Fry and Tony Hawks. And Clement, your turn to begin. The subject, porridge. Tell us something about porridge. In just a minute, starting now.
Porridge is made of oatmeal or Harris tweed. It rather depends on whether you come from Scotland or not. There are those who add salt, others milk, yet...
Paul Challenge.
I was pacing myself.
I knew something was distracting you. I think deviation. I don't think porridge is made out of Harris tweed.
All right. It is not made out of Harris tweed.
No.
We all know that. So
No.
deviation. And 47 seconds, porridge with you, Paul, starting now.
A marvellous sitcom written by Dick Clement and Ian LaFrenne, starring Ronnie Barker. It first aired, I believe, in about 1975. I think Brian Wilde as Barraclough, the girl.
So, starting again, the flow goes. Stephen, you interrupted. I mean, sorry, you were challenged first.
Yes, well, it was a sort of mixture of
There was a
deviation
hesitation.
and a
Right,
hesitation.
come, you
and
have the
cutting
subject.
edge.
33 seconds, porridge, starting now.
Come along, Fletcher, Brian Wilde used to say. Marvellous character. I enjoyed them all. You know, Fulton Mackay can't improve on that sort of acting in a situation comedy on the BBC, can you? It sort of sets a benchmark.
Clement Troy's challenge.
I'm afraid BBC.
Oh, dear, dear. Oh, I fell into a beginner's trap, didn't I? That's terrible.
You're hardly a beginner at this game now,
I
Stephen.
know, I should know better.
but
Dear me.
it is a beginner's trap,
Book
right.
1, page 2, line 3. I remember it's there. BBC, don't say it.
Anyway, BBC is repetition of B. 24 seconds for you, Clement. Porridge, starting now.
I rather enjoyed porridge. I thought Ronnie Fraser... What was his name, Ronnie?
Ronnie Barker.
You could have enjoyed it very much if you thought Ronnie Fraser.
You didn't let me finish.
Because Ronnie Fraser is
Ronnie
well
Fraser
known.
was not in it.
Ronnie Fraser was never in it.
No, I didn't say he was.
What is your challenge then, Stephen?
Yes, well, I think he may have squirmed out of it, but I could tell from his body language, as could you, that his hand went to his mouth when he said Ronnie Fraser, and he turned to Paul Merton.
And what you demonstrated there showed that he definitely paused.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Ronnie Fraser and a huge
you
pause.
have 20 seconds on porridge, Stephen, starting now.
The Scots spell it Porage, as opposed to 2 of the third letter, which we do in English with a D added and the letter I as well, which is a different appellation and one which I'm perfectly prepared to accept. I find the stuff disgusting if hot. However, with cool, cold, crisp milk, I adore it.
Paul, challenge.
Deviation, crisp milk. Crisp milk.
When it's very cold, it's got a little thin sheet of ice on it. And it's just crisp.
I think you're trying to wriggle out of it now, Stephen.
It's not a milk that has a crease in it. You can iron it really nice.
I think it creates a lovely
right,
image. It's a lovely use of words, but within just a minute, I think it's inaccurate. So, Paul, I give you the benefit of the doubt. 2 seconds of porridge, starting now.
My favourite episode of Porridge was undoubtedly...
And Paul Merton, again speaking as a whistleblower, gained the extra point. He's 1 point ahead of Stephen Fry and 2 of Clement Freud and Tony Hawkes. And Stephen, your turn to begin. Narcissus. Well, a lovely subject. Tell us something about it in this game, starting now.
A gorgeous boy, a heavenly youth, an Ephoebe, as the Greeks called them, who was enamoured of the nymph...
Tony, challenge.
I think he did hesitate.
He did
Yeah, I'm
hesitate.
struggling with
Tony.
that.
And I'd like to say I don't even need the benefit of the doubt for that one. I kind of
gonna
like
say-
to put that benefit of doubt on hold.
Yes,
and
I was
use
going to
it
say.
later on.
I was going to say exactly the
Thank
same
you very
thing.
much,
Yes.
Stickers. Thank you.
Yes,
Get
and
out of jail card.
Exactly,
you
yeah.
have 54 seconds on Narcissus, starting now. And Paul, challenge.
Could I have the benefit of the doubt as well?
When you deserve it, Paul, you will have the benefit
Okay,
of the
thank
doubt.
you.
At the moment, that didn't deserve it. Didn't even get much of a laugh either. So,
Let's not start pointing out who's getting laughs and who isn't.
I'm entitled to be a little acerbic occasionally
Yes,
because
you are.
I do suffer a great deal at
You do, don't
all
you?
your hands. I set myself up for it most of the time, but I take it in good part. Narcissus, with you, Tony, starting now.
Not so long ago, I passed a mirror in my home and I snatched a little glance and immediately fell in love with myself, much like Narcissus Stud. And Dud.
Stephen,
I
Dud.
don't think Narcissus Dud makes any
No,
real
no,
sense.
no.
I'm doing all right, but just not making any sense. I'm not repeating
The pressure's on, and the words get confused sometimes, and that's happened to Tony. Stephen got in first, 42 seconds. Narcissus, Stephen, starting now.
So in love with his own image reflected in a pool was he that eventually he didn't eat or do anything else except stare at this beautiful boy looking back through the water.
Paul,
I
challenge.
think we've had beautiful
You did when you
before.
talked about the beautiful image and the beautiful person.
You're right, it was in an earlier tranche, but that carries over.
It
doesn't
carries over,
Carries
yes,
over.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
You can have many tranches as you like in one round.
Thank
but
you, dear.
They all count against you. 35 seconds, Narcissus, with you, Paul, starting now.
Well, I don't really know much more about Narcissus than what we've already been told, but perhaps I can illuminate by making some stuff up. Narcissus worked as an ironmonger's assistant in Lewisham from 1926 through to 19...
Tony, challenge.
He's making that up.
I shouldn't have said that bit, should I?
No. But on the other hand, Tony, there's nothing in the rules which says that as long as you talk without hesitation...
Hang on, I've got the
repetition, or
rules
deviation-
here. I've got
No, he didn't hesitate. He didn't repeat
do we
himself. he
really
didn't
want to
deviate.
listen to him making more stuff up about? Yes, we do. Yes.
He can make up what he wants, providing he doesn't break the 3 rules of just a minute. 25 seconds with you, Paul. Narcissus, starting now.
Narcissus was a golden youth. He would walk through the forest and the gulls and the starlings would come down and they would sing...
Clement, challenge.
Is he still making it up?
At the moment, I just don't know. I might end up saying something that's true, but at the moment, I don't know.
Yes.
The destination is, up for grabs.
There weren't
should know.
many starlings in Greece at that time, actually. No.
What about the 46 starlings of Thebes?
Paul, you still have the subject. You were interrupted, so you get a point as well. Narcissus, still with you, starting now.
Once he'd done his paper round, he was straight down to the pond, looking at his reflection and reflecting to himself, I am the most beautiful
Stephen Chalmers.
Did you say beautiful as well?
I have.
Yes, he has. He said beautiful as well. Difficult when you're talking about Narcissus. Anyway, 11 seconds. Back with you, Stephen. Narcissus, starting now.
So the gods took pity on the lad and turned him into the purple-scented daffodil relation that we also call Narcissus. This act of metamorphosis, which has been celebrated by many painters, including, of course, Salvador Dali, with a very...
So Stephen Fry, speaking as the whistle went again, has moved forward. He's still 1 point behind Paul Merton, our leader. Then it's Clement Freud and Tony Hawks in that order. Tony, your turn to begin. And the subject, and there's no benefit of doubt in this, it is your subject. It is what I miss about the 70s. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
The Bay City Rollers, shang-a-lang, they don't write lyrics like that anymore. What a marvellous decade it was! Penny collars, tank tops, flared trousers were still in
Paul
Sorry,
Chalmers.
did you say penny collars?
Yes, that's right.
What's a penny collar?
It was a sort of little loopy collar that obviously you didn't have at your school.
No.
But, yeah, they were those sort of loopy ones. That,
Absolutely, he's right. You don't need the benefit of the doubt on it.
Thank you very much. Still got that benefit up my sleeve.
And you have 47 seconds to continue on what I miss about the 70s, starting now.
And indeed my childhood, because youthful though I look to you tonight, studio audience, I have moved on from that section of my life. And in the 70s I was enjoying it to the full, skipping about the place, maybe, whatever I felt like doing. You can tell I'm winging it a bit now, but it's still making sense, so they can't get in. And also, I've got the benefit of the doubt up my sleeve, which I haven't used yet. I don't know whether I pointed that out. Anyway, the 70s.
Clement Chalmers.
Deviation.
I agree, he's deviating from what I missed about the 70s, talking about deviation and the benefit of the doubt. So, Clement, you've got him with 19 seconds on what I miss about the 70s, starting now.
What I miss about the 70s is the youthfulness of that decade. When I was only 79, I had such a terrific time. I used to play cricket, run, pole vault. I think perhaps more than any other pastime, that running along a better...
So Clement Freud was then speaking as the whistle went, gained an extra point. He's still in third place, but he's catching up on Stephen Fry and Paul Merton in that order. And Clement, it's also your turn to begin. The subject is the person who should play me in a movie. Some thought about that. And you'd like to go on the subject starting now.
Do you know, to have 60 seconds in which to describe the person who should play me in a movie is exceeding it. The answer is Zoe Wanamaker.
Well, you rightly stopped, and because you didn't ride the laugh, you decided to enjoy it, and Tony was the first to challenge.
Want to make a bet? No, I think he definitely hesitated.
He definitely
hesitated. I mean, it was a
yes.
huge laugh, but he did look like once again the sleeping bag was coming out, and he backed
No, he has not
Hesitation.
hesitated. He stopped. He rested on his laurels, and you've got in with 47 seconds on the person who should play me in a movie, starting now.
This is rather an alarming subject for me to talk on, because there is talk of making...
Yes, Stephen.
What is it? Why? Why do I get picked on like this? He said talk twice.
Yes,
I know he did.
Yes, but I get booed by the audience for it.
Talking?
No, he said talk twice.
He said talk
No, I
twice.
did say talk twice, I think.
Yeah.
Two talks.
Okay.
Right, 43 seconds. The person who should play me in a movie, Stephen, starting now.
Well, obviously, given the audience's attitude towards me, it should be someone from Satan's Inner Ring, a little microbe from hell. Given that I'm such a villainous person, I'd always imagined it should be Brad Pitt, but I'm going to have to re-examine the whole issue. There are various actors I wouldn't mind representing me. I suppose, naturally, I would like them to be beautiful and slim in exactly the way that I am not, because that's human nature, really, isn't it? We wish to be seen as the very thing that we are the opposite of. But obviously, as I say, someone who should be remarkably clear-headed and wise and interrupting occasionally when other people are saying things that are perhaps repetitive or even deviatory or...
Paul Chalmers.
Sorry, I'm probably completely wrong here, but is there such a word as deviatory?
It's a kind of, you feel that given the tools we have in the English language, you could build it and it makes sense.
That's right, it made sense. And if you kept going and nobody challenged you, you'd have got away with it. But I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because
fair enough.
you're quite right. You've got him with 7 seconds to go, Paul, on the person who should play me in a movie starting now.
Bagpuss. I can't really see further than that. Sit in the window, nice pink face, bit of whiskers. That would be my life story encapsulated.
I think we should have all 4 of them in the movie, all being played by the people they suggested. I think it'd be lovely. I think we're moving into the last round, which is rather sad, because...
tragedy.
Let me give you the score as we go into the final round. Well, Paul Merton and Stephen Fry are equal in the lead, followed closely by Clement Freud, and only 2 points behind him is Tony Hawks, who has still got the benefit of the round coming up for him. And Paul Merton, it's your turn to begin. And the subject is... the person I should like to play in a movie. That is the subject, the person I should like to play in a movie. 60 seconds starting now.
I'm not really sure I know what sort of person I should like to play in a movie. I suppose some kind of comic relief, best friend...
Tony, challenge.
I think he said suppose twice.
He did say suppose
Did
twice.
I?
Yes, you did indeed. And Tony, you've got 55 seconds.
In 5 seconds, I said suppose twice.
You said, I suppose, I'm not really sure, but, and then you said, I suppose again. Hence the repetition.
Democracy in action.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, it's got nothing to do with you. Tony, 55 seconds, the person I should like to play in a movie starting now.
Undoubtedly the person I should like to play in a movie is me. And this may not happen because, tragically, there's talk of making Round Island with a fridge into a movie.
Stephen
It did seem a little, hesitantly.
I
Yes, he
felt
was
guilty
trying to-
about mentioning my own product.
No, it was wonderful.
I was about to say that he was trying to plug his book, and the result is he hesitated.
Yeah,
and
plug his
you've got
fridge.
him, Stephen.
Will the fridge be recast as a dishwasher, perhaps?
No, I mean, this is the truth. Tragically, they are talking about it, and I thought, well, it might be the one chance I get to star in a film, because it's supposed to be me, but I think I'm too tall. So it's not
A bonus point for
Thank
that,
you.
then. All right. Stephen, you got in. You have 44 seconds. The person I should like to play in a movie starting now.
If there were a life story of Brad Pitt, I've no doubt I would be cast in that role, because our resemblance is just about as uncanny as you can get without causing people to go into the Twilight Zone theme tune.
Tony, challenge.
I think it was hesitation.
Between Twilight and Zone, yes.
yes.
Twilight Zone. Yeah.
34 seconds, Tony. You're moving up rapidly. The person I should like to play in a movie starting now.
I would like to play Florence Nightingale. In the Crimea, helping those helpless little soldiers sitting in their beds, wounded, I could move about the hospital ward with an elegance that would surprise many viewers.
Paul, challenge.
No, you couldn't. Deviation. I don't think he could work with an elegance that would surprise many viewers.
I'm afraid I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I can't see.
That's the point. The point is it would surprise you.
Yes.
You don't think he could, and he's saying yes.
Yes.
On the face of it, you'd think I'm someone who couldn't be elegant,
It would-
but I
would-
would surprise you.
It would-
so it
it
would
would-
surprise
Thank
you.
you
No.
very much.
By definition.
Stephen, it would surprise me if he achieved it, but I don't think he can achieve it.
But that's why it would be a surprise. If you expected it, it wouldn't surprise you.
If we're going to have a talk on logic, it isn't.
But we've seen Tony walking, haven't we, Nick?
We absolutely.
You've never seen him dolled up as Florence Nightingale.
I
He does
beg
his
to differ,
flossing
thank you
with the
very
lamp.
much.
Show him, girl. Show him.
Look, I don't want to get involved here particularly because it's all getting a bit out of hand. But Stephen's right. He is. He's got a point.
Stephen is wrong logically because
He's never wrong logically.
No. You said that you might be surprised. We would not be surprised.
We'd be amazed.
We'd be amazed.
That's not a difference of logic. That's a difference of intensity.
All right, I tell you what. I will give you the. Shall I give you your benefit?
Can I have my benefit?
I will give you now your benefit of the doubt in this last round. You keep the subject. Another point. 18 seconds. The person I should play in a movie starting now.
Amazed they would be to see my hair brushed back behind.
Paul
Sorry,
Challenge.
why would anybody be amazed to see your hair brushed back? What a dear point of view. I saw somebody on television with their hair brushed back. Is it possible to get a copy for my family?
Excuse me. I will hand this over to my...
No. Stephen. Stephen, you stay out of this. We don't like your logic. It's not accurate. You've lost it. Paul's got it. I agree with his. I agree with Paul's logic. 14 seconds, Paul. The person I should play in a movie starting now.
I've always been fascinated by the life of Charlie Chaplin. Although I'm too tall, I would like to think that I could essay a portrait of that marvellous silent screen clown. He had the most extraordinary life, being born in Bermondsey in the early 18th, whatever, and then...
And Stephen Chow.
Nothing extraordinary about being born in Bermondsey. Hundreds of thousands of people were born in Bermondsey in the 19th century.
I think the rest of the sentence ending up as one of the richest men in Hollywood was how I was going to finish the sentence. That's an extraordinary.
So you didn't allow
No,
to
I
finish.
know, I was only teasing.
And it's not extraordinary that he should have been born in Bermondsey.
I know we're
That was
not
my
allowed to
point.
go back, but you don't know how amazing this hairstyle is going to be.
Hair brushed back
Yes.
with a live fox pin to it. You were about to say. Exactly.
Yes.
Listen, have you two, Stephen and
Sorry,
Tony,
sorry.
you're sitting beside each other, have you decided to gang up and work as a team in order to
coup
work
going on.
Yes, in order to take over the show and to get points for each other. Right, Paul, you have 1 second left. Oh, it's hardly fair on the others, is it? The person I should play in a movie starting now.
Marilyn Monroe!
Well, Paul Merton, with his flamboyant Marilyn Monroe, brought that particular round and this particular edition of Just a Minute to a flamboyant finish, and how exciting it's been. And I think more humour's been generated in this particular edition than there's been for a very long time. And it's been a very close situation. Clement Freud came in a very strong fourth position. He deserves a round of applause. He did extremely well. Happens to finish fourth because of just a few points didn't get ahead of him. And Tony Hawks, with his benefit of the doubt, even with that, he finished in third position. And but he did very well, and it was a very, very powerful third position. Stephen Fry was in an excellent second position. Excellent. It was amazing. And but just out ahead, 2 points ahead of Stephen, was Paul Merton. So we say, you are the strongest one in points and numbers. Let's say you're the winner this week, Paul Merton. It only remains for me to say thank you to our four delightful players of the game, Paul Merton, Stephen Fry, Tony Hawks and Clement Freud. Also thank Janet Staplehurst, who's helped me run the stopwatch, as we call it, blow her whistle so elegantly. We also thank our producer, director, that is Claire Jones. We're indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this delightful game, and we're very grateful to this lovely audience in the drill hall, cheering us on our way, having a lovely time. From our audience here in London, and from me, Nicholas Parsons, and our team, thank you. Tune in the next time we take to the air and we play Just a Minute. Welcome to Just a Minute. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my huge pleasure to welcome our many listeners, not only in this country, but throughout the world, but also to welcome to the programme four exciting individual and talented players of the game. It's a great pleasure to welcome back that multi-talented, clever, original comedian, Paul Merton, and beside him is a person who has played this game more often than any others. He's shown skill, expertise and ingenuity over many years. The ever-resourceful Clement Freud, and sitting on my left, there's another fine comedian, great humorous talent who's excelled in this show many times. That's Tony Hawks. And beside him we have someone who's not played the game quite so often, but he's shown great skill and talent when he has done so. So it's a pleasure to have Charles Collingwood with us. And will you please welcome all four of them? And as usual, I am going to ask them to speak on a subject that I give them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. Beside me sits Janet Staplehurst. She's going to run the stopwatch for me. She's going to blow a whistle when 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Everyman Theatre, a beautiful little theatre in the heart of that great spa resort of Cheltenham. And we have a wonderful Gloucestershire audience in front of us with one or two scatterings from further afield who've come to cheer us on our way as we begin the show with Paul Merton. Paul, the subject to start with is how to spot a lady. Will you tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now?
Well, it's quite easy to spot a lady as opposed to gentlemen. Ladies tend to be the ones wearing prettier clothes, I think, and lovely hats and tall shoes as they walk up and down Cheltenham High Street looking for work. And I think that sometimes when you see a beautiful woman walking towards you...
Clement challenge.
Repetition walking.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There was
Yes.
two walkings, yes.
Quite right, that's quite right.
Yeah, Clement.
Very good challenge.
Yes. And Clement, with a correct challenge, you get a point for that. And you take over the subject of how to spot a lady, and there are 44 seconds available, starting now.
If you want to really spot a lady, beetroot soup, oxtail stew, and spaghetti bolognese are wonderful means by which, with a teaspoon, you can splutter all over their dresses, gowns, hats, shoes, socks.
Paul
That's
challenge.
enough.
Hesitation.
Yes, I would agree with that, as hesitation, yes. And Clement was saying you had a very good challenge too, so we're working very well together now. And,
I like to think so.
yes, and you have the subject back, you have 26 seconds, and you start now.
The three-card trick has been used over centuries to gull people into giving up their money. If you walk down Oxford Street, you will find practitioners of this particular skill asking people to come up and saying, go on then, which one is it? And you...
Charles, a challenge.
That's not true. I walk down Oxford Street a lot. I haven't seen the three-card trick page. On trains, yes, but never in Oxford Street. I'm sorry, that's deviation.
Well, Charles, we cannot be sure it's never done in Oxford Street. There might be somebody who's at this present moment working it in Oxford Street.
Yeah.
So, though it's a good challenge...
My
I'm
mother.
afraid-
I retract. I'm
Every
terribly-
Sunday she's there.
I'm so
It
sorry,
is
Paul.
perfectly possible that somebody could be doing it in Oxford Street, so I have to say that's an incorrect challenge.
Fair enough.
Paul gets a point for incorrect challenge. He keeps the subject. 13 seconds available. How to spot a lady, starting now.
If one were to breed Dalmatians for a living, perhaps do it professionally, then you must know that
Tony challenged.
Well, actually, I've forgotten what my challenge is already.
You just wanted to be...
Isn't that a bit of a handicap in this game?
It is. I thought I had a sort of brilliant one, and then as I was forming it, I thought it was rubbish.
And so that's all you have to say.
He did say something. I'm digging a hole for myself because I know it's rubbish. So I'll just withdraw it instead.
Okay.
Well, it's good to hear from you, Tony. At least
you.
the...
I'm hoping to make better contributions later.
Well, I thought you were letting the listeners know that you were actually in the programme,
Yeah.
and, which you
Well,
have
I've
established.
managed to do that.
But your negligent challenge has given Paul another point, and he has 7 seconds still on how to spot a lady, starting now.
Acne is a terrible affliction which affects both sexes, whether you be a man or indeed a female of the species.
Whoever is speaking in this game, when the whistle goes, gains an extra point. On this occasion, it was Paul Merton, and with other points in that round, he has naturally got a strong lead. As we go into the next round, and we'd like Charles Collingwood to take it. Charles, the subject here is fashion. You're a fairly sartorial character, but would you like to talk on that subject? 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
We live in the world of spin these days, and nothing has spun more than the world of fashion.
Paul challenge.
Well, it's a bit harsh. It's a repetition of world. World
Yes.
of spin, world of fashion.
Yes,
World of
that's
spin,
quite
world
right,
of
yeah.
fashion, yes.
Do you know, I made such an effort not to say spin twice. I said spin and spun, and I went, clever old me.
And that's what happens. You see, they have been playing the game a bit more often than usual. They listen to themselves.
They're younger
more.
than me as well.
tell you.
Yes, and
Paul's on fire tonight.
Well, let's put him out.
Okay.
And when you booed Paul then for his challenge, I have to remind you, those are the rules. And that's how we play
What, you
the
have to
game.
boo Paul?
Yes.
That's the
No,
rule.
no. The
It's a new
rules
rule.
are that you challenge if he repeats something, and he repeated something which was the world and was just world. And Paul, you have a correct challenge. You have a point. You have fashion. You have 54 seconds starting now.
As you can tell, I've never really been particularly a follower of fashion, although that was a very favourite song of the Kinks, which was released in 1965, I believe, written by Ray Davies. I have never been the kind of...
Charles, challenge.
Repetition of never.
Yes, there were two nevers.
Yes?
Well, Charles, with one effort, you've already won the whole sympathy of this audience. Or the sympathy of the whole audience, maybe. So you have a correct challenge, Charles. You have the subject. You have 43 seconds. You have fashion starting now.
If you open those glossy magazines and look at those designs that are made for our young ladies of today, how on earth are they going to get into them and go shopping, or take their shoes off, or go on the bus? They are ridiculous, and you know full well they're pinned up at the back as well. They don't even fit those young persons, so it's quite ridiculous.
Clement, challenge.
We've had rather a lot of youngs than theys.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that's all right.
I thought we'd let a few go.
That's all right.
I let you go for a bit to give you a
you.
fair crack of the
Very
whip.
kind
but
of you.
Clement waited and came in with a correct challenge. 24 seconds. Fashion's with you, Clement, starting now.
Bespoke is a word I'm very fond of. You have a suit made for you specifically, or shoes or socks or a handkerchief.
Tony, challenge.
Well, 4 oars quite close to each other.
Yeah. As one you might let go, but four,
Yes,
no. Right.
4's too many.
15 seconds are still available to hear from you, Tony, on fashion starting now.
As everyone in this audience can see for themselves, I am quite the most fashionable figure you could wish to come across in my beautiful khaki outfit I've been planning for months. Most of the people that come on this show don't give it a moment's thought, but not me. I'm Mr.
So Tony Hawks was then speaking as the whistle went, and he gained that extra point, and he's now equal with Charles Collingwood and Clement Freud, who are just behind Paul Merton, who's still in the lead. And I think, for the sake of our listeners, I should say that I think the whole of this panel and everybody is reasonably well dressed. You're not the only one who's got well-cut clothes on. In fact, I would say yours are not up to the standard of some of the others. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Tony, would you like to take the next round? And it is Second Thoughts. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
A lot of listeners at home will be disappointed to learn that we record this show some way in advance. And I have to admit I had second thoughts when I accepted this job, because as I speak at the moment, Greece and Portugal are doing battle on a football pitch somewhere in the world. And...
Clement Freud challenge.
Lisbon.
Clement Freud showing off his incredible knowledge.
That's all well and good, but what I want to know is what the score is.
Well, they haven't started yet, so don't get the audience agitated. No, don't say that. Anyway, Clement, because your interruption there, the audience enjoyed it, what I do is I do on these occasions, I give you a bonus point for an amusing interruption. But Tony was interrupted, so he gets a point for that. He continues with the subject. 41 seconds available. Second thoughts starting now.
Generally, second thoughts happen just after first thoughts and immediately preceding third thoughts. Fourth, fifth, sixth may follow, depending on how much thinking you're doing that day. I would imagine most people have second thoughts when they've made some sort of reckless decision where they've agreed perhaps to marry someone that they don't even like, or to do something ridiculous like turn up on a show where you need verbal dexterity and you have no capability for that. Might be, of course, and can I just point out how fashionably I'm dressed? Nicholas, on the other hand, should have had second thoughts before he wore that jacket. But he went through with it like a fool, thinking to himself, no...
So Tony Hawk started with the subject and, in spite of an interruption, continued till the 60 seconds is up. He got his point for the interruption, he got a point for speaking as the whistle went. He's now equal with Paul Merton in the lead, followed by Clement Freud and Charles Collingwood. And Clement, your turn to begin. The subject, cheese rolling. Obviously, we have an audience of cheese rollers. It's a very topical subject, but Clement, tell us something about it in this game, starting now.
If I had to choose between sausage rolling, cheese rolling, and corned beef sandwich rolling, I think cheese rolling is absolutely my first choice. No second thoughts would come up at all. The important thing about cheese rolling is to make sure that cottage cheese is not used, as it tends to stick and not facilitate the descent of the cheese. In Gloucestershire, in fact in Cheltenham, not very far from here, cheese rolling is an afternoon...
Charles Collingwood's Cheltenham.
He said in Cheltenham, not very far from here.
It couldn't be much nearer.
I mean, we're in Cheltenham. And I know he's going to say not very far, but there was in Cheltenham, not very far from here. But as an actor, I felt it sounded like in Cheltenham, not very far from here. Total rubbish, I felt personally. And that is why I put... I'm sorry, Clement, don't look at me like that. He makes you ever so nervous when he looks at me.
Yes, he can do that.
Oh, he can.
Yes, he can bluff you out of things. But, no, I do think that he was trying to convey the fact that, though we're in Cheltenham now, this takes place not very far from Cheltenham. And though it may not have been the sort of usual grammatical phraseology, I think he was conveying what we all know. It's not very far from Cheltenham that it takes place. So, Clement, you have the benefit of the doubt on this occasion. You keep the subject.
Excuse me. It's got nothing to do with you.
I know.
It's got nothing to do with him, has it, Nicholas?
They're a very partisan, and as you'll notice, they keep changing their allegiance.
They do.
So they're utterly fickle as well. And they're just mad about cheese rolling, so that says something for them, doesn't it? I wonder why they're
I
facing...
get a bonus point for such a clever interruption?
No, it wasn't all that clever,
No.
Charles.
I wouldn't draw attention to it if I were you.
Clement, you carry on for another point. 30 seconds, cheese rolling starting now.
I have a film of Gloucester cheese rolling, and I said Gloucestershire before, so it wasn't...
Repetition of Gloucestershire.
That's right. In other words, in this game, you can struggle out of a situation and dive straight in again to the other side. So, Tony, a correct challenge. Cheese rolling is now with you and 25 seconds available, starting now.
I have tried to popularise cheese rolling in central London, and it won't happen. First of all, it's important to get a round cheese. Square bits of cheddar don't roll properly. Generally, though, there's no enthusiasm in that capital city for this. Perhaps you need to be Gloucester folk with not much else to do to enthusiasm yourself down here. I appreciate that this is not making me a popular figure here this evening.
No, you may have lost some friends with that remark, Tony, but you kept going to the whistle when gained that extra point, and you've taken the lead, 2 ahead of Paul Merton and Clement Freud, and then Charles Collingwood. And Paul, it's your turn to begin. The subject now is my favourite planet. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
My favourite planet, without any doubt, is XB110. It's on the northern arm of Betelgeuse, and it's an extraordinary place. The buildings are made out of cheese, and the cheeses are made out of...
Clement Charles. What is your
cheeses?
Cheese and cheeses.
Cheeses,
Yes.
I got caught.
Yes, you got caught, yes. So they do that sometimes, trip each other up, but there's an incorrect challenge. 51 seconds, still with you on my favourite planet, Paul, starting now.
On second thoughts, I think Neptune is much better, because when you go there, it's a wonderful atmosphere. It's quite warm, but there's not many people, and you get a deck chair to yourself.
Charles, your challenge.
I think it was hesitation.
It was hesitation, Charles. So you have my favourite planet, and you have 43 seconds starting now.
My favourite planet is Mars, written by Gustav Holst, who I believe was born in this fine town here many years ago. I like all the planets, quite frankly, and I want to visit one day, although I realise that I'm already residing on a planet as happens now. But in the time to...
Residing on a planet as happens now?
That is the way we speak on my planet.
Yes.
Well, what I'll do there, Paul gets a point for a correct challenge, just because it was deviation from grammatical English as we understand it. But, Charles, we give you a bonus point for your comeback. No, not for acting, because all your hands were nearly hitting the microphone. And and, Paul, you have the subject. You have 22 seconds. My favourite planet starting now.
The planet Earth. Isn't it beautiful? A blue ball spinning in space, where we call home. Charles, unfortunately, is a visitor. But we welcome him to our bosom, because we say to the aliens that live on other aspects of the galaxy, come to us. We have plenty...
Paul, Clement Challenge.
That was 5 wheeze.
Yes. 5. It was. I don't know if it was 5, I wasn't counting, but I mean... Right, we had those
take it
oars.
back.
No, don't take it back, because we had the oars against you. Oh, dear me, that sounds a bit bad.
And you've got the wheeze against me.
So, Clement, 5 seconds, my favourite planet, starting now.
Of all the planets I've visited, Earth is actually my favourite.
So, at the end of that round, Clement Freud got the whistle. Speaking as the whistle went, it's an interesting situation. Clement Freud, Tony Hawks and Paul Merton are all equal in the lead, and Charles Collingwood is only 2 points behind. And, Charles, it's your turn to begin. The subject, I don't know why it's been chosen for you, we'll discover soon, I'm sure. Changing nappies. Tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
It's many years ago since my little daughter was a tiny baby. How I remember throwing away the pooey one and then lying the infant down on a cloth all warm and powdered as I wrapped this folded toweling square round her little shape. And very carefully with a sharp pin so as not to prick this virgin skin, I pushed it through as she gurgled in my face. Warm, I put her panties.
Paul Charles.
Too warm.
We've had warm...
Too warm. Too warm. Too many warms.
For those listeners who like visual images, Charles was doing that with his eyes shut. So either it was the memory thing, or it was,
Smell.
as long as you don't do your other radio show with your eyes shut and you can read the words anyway.
Pity you do yours with your eyes shut.
I don't know what that meant, Charles.
No, I don't.
A good attempt, but it didn't quite come off, did it? Right.
I don't think we should start picking on jokes that don't work. We'll be here forever.
I think we get some fun out of the fact they don't work. So, 30 seconds, changing nappies is with you, Paul, starting now.
So I went back to the supermarket and I said, excuse me, these nappies I bought yesterday, they seem to be made of asbestos. They said, well, it's a cut-price, cheap kind of nappy. I said, well, that's no good to me. I want to change.
Tony Challenge.
2 I saids.
2 I said, yes, you did indeed. Right. Tony, changing nappies is over to you. 19 seconds available, starting now.
I'm terrible at changing nappies.
Well, give it to somebody who knows what they're talking about. I'm terrible at changing nappies.
If you had
Interrupted me to tell us that there's no good at changing nappies. We don't know that.
If you've got asbestos nappies, I don't know if you know much about it either.
That's why I took them back.
Right. What we do there is the audience enjoyed Paul's interruptions. We give him a bonus point for the interruption. Tony gets a point because he was interrupted, and he has 17 seconds to continue on changing nappies, starting now.
Sometimes I'll wear them for days before I think of putting a new one on. Weeks past in some cases, but I generally get someone to come in and do it, a nanny or such like, and they do a good job. I lie down much in the way that Charles Collingwood...
Paul Challenge.
Repetition of I. I wear nappies, I lie down.
Well, let's watch this in future. We've had all the oars, and now we've had the wheeze, and now we've had the eyes. So, but it was correct. So, Paul, 2 seconds. You've got him with 2 seconds to go. And you've got changing nappies starting now.
Toweling is the most important thing. First of all, you put it around the baby.
So Paul Merton, with other points in the round, including the one for speaking as a whistle went, has edged slightly into the lead ahead of the others. And Clement, your turn to begin. The subject, cobblers. Can you tell us something about cobblers in this game, starting now?
Northampton Football Club are known as the Cobblers, mainly because in the city from which the footballers take their name, they produce shoes, boots, in great quantities. In Cheltenham, where we now are, the team is called the Robins. I'm not at all sure why, other than that Robins...
Tony Challenge.
Repetition of Robin.
Yes, it's cobblers on the card. So we go up in the Robins.
It sounded like cobblers to me.
Yes, 39 seconds, Tony. Cobblers with you, starting now.
You could argue I could speak on any subject for the remaining time and then claim it was cobblers. No one could get me for deviation. Swimming, that's fun, isn't it? And the windows outside my house are a little bit grubby.
Paul Challenge.
Well, I know it's subject is cobblers, but has he got windows outside his house? Are they not part of the house?
Cobblers.
You can't... You've given me a difficult thing because he maintained he's talking cobblers.
This is
But
the
it's
one.
taking the concept of double glazing a bit far, isn't it?
This is the one round where you can't get me for that one. Any other round you can, but it is cobblers to have them outside.
But it's,
No,
it's deviation.
I think it's almost an impossible decision because there's truth in your argument, but
I established
but
it
on
myself.
The other hand,
I spent good seconds establishing the premise.
that you would have taught cobblers.
Yes.
I've given Paul the benefit of the doubt last time. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this occasion. Carry on with your cobblers. 24 seconds starting now.
Shoes would be difficult. Oh, I can't be asked.
Charles, yes.
Well, hesitation
Yes.
and a repetition of shoes.
No, he hadn't said shoes before.
You don't. Oh, I see. That's good. Boy, you can see how quick I am, can't you?
You can repeat what somebody else has said in that round, as long as you haven't said it.
Oh, I might win next time. Okay, right, cobblers.
Charles, you've got cobblers, and you have 22 seconds starting now.
The windows outside my house overlook a cobbled street where there are no...
Paul Charles.
Hesitation.
Yes,
But I'll
also-
accept the benefit of the doubt. Don't mind.
No, but he wasn't establishing, he was talking cobblers, so this occasion your challenge would have been correct anyway.
Ah, yes.
Hesitation?
No, but he's got you on 2 scores, so...
Is he?
Yes.
You've never heard of a dramatic pause?
As performers, we've all heard and we've all indulged in dramatic pauses, but they are not going to work on just a minute. It's one game where you can't use them. 17 seconds, Paul. Cobblers starting now.
I've got Clement Freud's first country and western album at home, and what a treat it is when you put on that record and you listen to the first track. I'm just...
Clement Chan.
Repetition of first.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I've got Clement Freud first track, and when you listen to the first right. Clement, you got him with 10 seconds on cobblers starting now.
My second country and western album was a terrific success. It was bought everywhere, in towns, villages, hamlets and cities, into...
And at the end of that round, Clement Freud got the point for speaking as the whistle went, has moved forward. He's equal with Paul Merton in the lead. And I mention this now slowly because we're going to the final round for those interested in points. Paul, it's your turn to begin, and the subject is one-way systems. There are 1 or 2 of those in Cheltenham, I can tell you. But will you talk on it starting now?
I've just been round the one-way system in Cheltenham, and it strikes me as a beautiful thing because it actually helps you to get to where you want to be, which is where I am now, in the middle of the place that I've just mentioned earlier, which of course I can't mention, but there's lots of...
Oh, that's the fun and the frustration of this game. And Tony, you spotted it.
Yes, repetition.
I've mentioned, yes.
Yeah.
One-way systems is with you, Tony, and 49 seconds available starting now.
I've always wondered what Brands Hatch was like before they put the one-way system in. Must have been complete chaos with Schumacher...
Charles Callan.
That was hesitation.
No, don't you tell me. It's my job.
Mr. Parsons,
Yes.
OBE.
No. You don't need to patronise now. 39 seconds for you, Charles. Tell us something about one-way systems starting now.
One-way systems make one get so much older quicker than you'd like to be. I can't think of anything I'd rather do less than drive round a one-way system. However, when you are lost, people are incredibly kind. They wave and give you directions, saying, the Everyman Theatre is just round there. Is it hell?
Not in Edinburgh, they don't.
A very nice challenge, a very nice interruption. Because,
Stylish.
But I think we give Tony a bonus point because we enjoyed his interruption. He's got that. And you get a point because you're interrupted. And you have, Charles, 18 seconds, one-way systems starting now.
But all of a sudden, I saw a person who said,
Paul challenge.
Should we have a repetition of person?
There was a person before. There
there?
were people who... There was people before.
Oh, people.
wasn't
It was people,
There was
yes.
people before.
Yes.
People, yes.
Yeah.
You see, I do listen to every word that's spoken, and you know, Charles, at this rate, you could actually win. You never know. You still have the subject, one-way system, 16 seconds starting now.
Just under the subway will not get you to where you want to go at all.
Clement challenged.
I want him to have another point.
So you had an incorrect challenge. You got another point, Charles. And you have 12 seconds on one-way system starting now.
It must have been many years ago when they introduced the subject of one-way systems to some of our major towns. I suppose it's because the traffic when going in two directions was rather difficult to manipulate.
So Charles Collingwood was speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point, and with a number of other points in that round, he has leapt forward, but he didn't quite make it. He's actually finished in second place. And he was 3 points behind our winners, which is extremely fair considering the tremendous value they all give, because all with 13 points are Paul Merton, Tony Hawks and Clement Freud, all equal. It's never happened before. Our winners. What a fair result in a game which is played for fun and not for points. So it only remains for me to say thank you to these four delightful players of the game, Paul Merton, Clement Freud, Tony Hawks and Charles Collingwood. I also thank Janet Staplehurst, who's helped me with the score. She's blown her whistle so well when the 60 seconds was up. And we are grateful to our lovely producer, Claire Jones, and we are indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this delightful game. And we are very grateful to this lovely audience here in the Everyman Theatre in Cheltenham, who've cheered us on our way. From our audience, from me, Nicholas Parsons, and the team, goodbye. Tune in the next time we play Just a Minute. Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my pleasure to welcome the many listeners who not only tune in this country, but all around the world, but also to welcome to the show four exciting, experienced, and individual players of the game who've come together to show off their talent, their humour, their verbal dexterity, their humorous ingenuity, as they try and speak on a subject that I give them, and they try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. And sitting on my right, it's Paul Merton and Clement Freud, and sitting on my left, it is Stephen Fry and Tony Hawks. Will you please welcome all four of them? Beside me sits Janet Staplehurst, who's going to hold the stopwatch and keep the time running for me and blow a whistle when 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Drill Hall, a venue near the Soho district in the centre of London. And we have a wonderful cosmopolitan audience drawn from all parts of this great capital city. And we're ready to start. And Stephen, your turn to begin. The subject now is what not to say to the Queen. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
I should point out that Nicholas, tomorrow at the time of recording, is going to the palace to receive from a grateful sovereign an OBE.
Paul, why did you challenge then?
I'm sorry. I thought we were wandering into the realms of fantasy here.
No, it's true.
Are you going to the palace tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
Are they still looking for cleaners?
Yeah, I saw the job advertised. I thought I might go apply.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I know, yeah, well, thank you very much. Stephen, you've thoroughly embarrassed me, but thank you very much. And Paul's thoroughly amazed, and you were interrupted, so you get a point. And what not to say to the Queen is still the subject, starting now.
Above all, refrain from saying ma'am. They really dislike this. They say it makes them sound like a shopkeeper. Ma'am is how it should be said. Remember that, Nicholas, if you can.
I will indeed. Thank you very much. Tony, you challenge.
Very technical challenge here. He said the same word twice, but pronounced it differently.
Oh, gosh.
So... Technically, that is a repetition of the word, and it was just pronounced differently.
No. Absolutely
He pronounced it quite differently, so we learned to get away with it. He has the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, thank you so much.
And 34 seconds, what not to say to the Queen, Stephen, starting now.
Jimmy Tarbuck at the end of a Royal Command performance famously said, "Oh, that reminds me, I must buy a stamp," which went down rather well. And there are the odd things like that which you can say to your ruler, to your monarch, as you please, to your
Yes, repetition of to your.
Tony, you've got in at last with 21 seconds on what not to say to the Queen, starting now.
Tommy Cooper said, "Are you going to the cup final, Ma'am?" And she said no, and he said, "Can I have your ticket?" Which I thought was quite a good thing to say. Not to...
Clement challenge.
Hesitation.
All right, benefit of the doubt. It's got nothing to do with you in the audience. I have to make those difficult decisions, and I get 3 people antagonised whenever it doesn't go their way. Clement, a benefit of the doubt, 13 seconds. What not to say to the Queen, starting now.
I think Stephen Fry's absolutely right. You shouldn't say mum, nor ma'am, nor especially golden oldie.
Paul challenge.
Repetition of nor.
Oh, no.
There was quite a few of them.
He was spelling one with a K and 2 R's.
Can't have advertising on the BBC.
Well, Paul gets a point because he got the subject, and Stephen gets a point for his interruption there, which the audience enjoyed. There's the little bonus points I give out on occasions. 7 seconds available. But Paul, what not to say to the Queen, starting now.
Get your coat, darling, you've pulled. It's always a wonderful moment when you get the chance to say that to the sovereign of your country, and what a wonderful night we had the last time I did that.
Well, all I can say is if I am up there tomorrow, I have got some things I could say, haven't I?
Yeah. Try that last one.
Yeah.
I'll repeat yours.
Yeah, get your coat, darling.
Yes. Right. Paul Merton, it's your turn to begin. And, what a wonderful apt subject for you, comic timing. The man who illustrates it all the time. But tell us something about it in this game, starting now.
Comic timing, I suppose, is about pauses, rhythms, undertones. The sound of Groucho Marx delivering a line is distinctive to me as Louis Armstrong's trumpet. I suppose that what you...
Tony, challenge.
Repetition of suppose.
Yes, you did.
Oh, he's pleased with himself.
You started off with I suppose, and then you repeated it. Right. Tony, you've got him with 50 seconds to go on. Comic timing, starting now.
Sometimes Nicholas does comic timing when he lets the minute run longer than it's actually gone because we're all enjoying it so much, and boy do we fall about when that happens. On this show, I'm speaking, of course, you can talk for as long as you like when you're with him normally. He doesn't really interfere. It would be unreasonable of him if he stopped you all the time.
Chairman challenge.
7 he's.
Yeah.
Not a tease.
A sharp challenge, but
6.
7.
6.
No, he was counting. Okay. 32 seconds, Clement, with you on comic timing, starting now.
I think one of my favourite jokes is, what is the difference between a vichyssoise soup and a Mars bar?
So, Paul, challenge in the middle of your comic timing.
Yeah, I thought you'd stopped.
I think he
I
has.
don't mind sort of like withdrawing the challenge if the comic timing.
Can we
is part
find
of
out the
joke.
difference, whatever happens? Because I'm dying to know.
Is there a payoff to that one?
Is there a point in it?
Points mean payoffs.
Right. Paul, you got in with a correct challenge on hesitation, of course. 22 seconds, comic timing starting now.
You can't fry batter vichyssoise soup. So anyway, I was walking in the street the other day and I said to this man, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" He said, "Let me tell you." So he took me through a very long, windy little corridor, and he told me at the end of it was the secret of comic timing. So I walked very slowly down this passageway.
Tony, challenge.
Repetition of slowly.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Well
Yep.
done. I'm glad you listened to yourself, Paul. And
To be honest, I was boring myself rigid.
7 seconds, back with you, Tony. Comic timing starting now.
It's very important to turn up on the right evening. If you go on a Wednesday and you're booked for Thursday, poor timing, and you will...
So, Tony Hawk's the speaking as the whistle went, and he's getting quite a strong lead. He's 1 ahead of Stephen Fry, 2 ahead of Paul Merton, and 3 ahead of Clement Freud. And Clement, your turn to begin. The subject, nannies. Tell us something about nannies in this game, starting now.
Nannies have 8 legs and are absolutely delicious when they are curried, as they tend to be in the West Indies, Tobago, Trinidad, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Guinea, you name it. They do exactly that to a nanny. Nannies, in the plural, which is the subject we have, are 2 goats or more. Also, this depends entirely on your social status, can be a grandmother or a governess, someone who looks after children. Nannies are in the plural because...
Stephen Chance.
Second plural, I thought.
Yes.
But the old darling hates to be patronised, you know.
We are playing just a minute, and it was a correct challenge,
I'm
Stephen.
sorry
So
it was.
you have nannies, and you have 21 seconds starting now.
I've never eaten nanny goat. I dare say it's rather nice, stewed or fried or curried or any way that Clement mentions it.
Pony to challenge.
Is that too many oars all close together?
There were 3 or 4 very close together, so we give you the benefit of the doubt that one. And you can't have too many oars in the show, and...
Morning, dear.
Right, hold it.
You have your cocoa in a minute.
I was actually playing for a play on words and failed.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear.
That's all right. It doesn't matter. Well, you should be sorry because I failed.
Yes,
right.
Who's going to see the Queen tomorrow?
Oh, don't know.
Actually, since this is going out in a few weeks, how was it when you met the Queen? Did you pull?
It was established when Stephen started talking about it that at the time of the recording he did say yes.
Fine.
So we gave you a bonus point for that. And 16 seconds, Tony, for you. Nannies starting now.
I recently applied to get a nanny, but when they discovered that I wasn't married, had no children, and had written down fit blonde between the ages of 18 and 25, they refused me. I was deeply disappointed, and I rang them the next day saying, "What's going on with this organisation? I'm prepared to..."
So Tony Hawks is speaking as the whistle went then, and he's increased his lead at the end of the round. And Tony, it's also your turn to begin. The subject is moving the goalposts. An interesting phrase, a very topical one for the time of the recording. Would you please talk on the subject starting now?
How useful it would be to the England team in the Euro 2004 event if they could move the goalposts every time an opposing attacker came towards them, and David James could unscrew the bottom bit that keeps it fixed into the grass, because that's how they do it, lift it up, carry it towards the corner flag, and then say, "There, shoot at that, you..." Hello. Anyway.
Clement, you challenged.
I thought that was deviation.
Why?
Hello?
Oh, you're being too subtle, Clement. It was hesitation, and you know it, so you've got the subject. And 35 seconds, moving the goalpost starting now.
Moving the goalposts is only significant if the pitch remains in the same place. I think that's really all I have.
I think this show is going to be remembered for the occasions when poor Clement Freud made a lot of statements which got a huge reaction, and then he retired afterwards.
That's
right.
too deep for me, that one.
Oh, it was delightful.
Very deep.
Hesitation.
Yes, hesitation. Moving the goalposts with you, Paul, and 28 seconds starting now.
I suppose it means changing your... I haven't spoken, so it can't be the second time I've said suppose. It's the first time I've spoken on this subject. I can't have said suppose more than once.
You said suppose when you were talking about comic timing.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
in this round. What are you challenging for, Clement?
Well, I want to get in first.
I think the chances are I am going to say suppose, so you should give it to him, I think.
So that was like a psychic challenge, really.
Yeah, I think I was going to say it again, so you might as well give it to
Anyway,
him.
they enjoyed what Clement said. Give him a bonus point for that. Paul was interrupted. He keeps the subject, moving the goalpost, and 26 seconds starting now.
Supposing you have...
He's a cunning old devil, isn't he?
You've been hatching that plot all along. Oh, yes.
I fell for
and Stephen fell straight into it. Yeah. So, supposing instead of suppose, 24 seconds, another incorrect challenge. Is still with you, Paul. Moving the goalposts, starting now.
When I was 12 years old, I used to play as a goalkeeper for a company called Little League, and it was established around the Morden area. And basically, as a young boy, you would go along, enlist to play for a particular team. And my favourite position was between the sticks, because I had quite long arms, and I was quite good at catching the ball.
And Stephen challenge. Two quites, yes. Quite long arms, quite good, right?
Yeah.
10 seconds, Stephen. You've got in there on moving the goalposts, starting now.
I suppose that if one were...
Repetition of ha.
Oh, now, come on!
No, indeed, I won't. But Paul, I'll give you a bonus point because I enjoyed what you said. But Stephen was interrupted there, and he has 9 seconds, and he gets a point for that, of course. Moving the goalpost, Stephen, starting now.
If I were to move the goalposts on this particular game, I might talk about marigold. I might repeat, deviate.
Tony challenge.
Or repeat might.
Oh, repeat
good.
might.
Good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Tony's got
Solid.
another point, and he's
Solid.
got 3 seconds on moving the goalpost, starting now.
It's not a good thing to do.
Stephen challenge.
He said good in his earlier part.
He
when
did
opened
indeed.
It, yeah.
You talked about how good it was.
A good thing to do.
You said it would be very good if James, the goalkeeper, moved the post out of
He's done well.
flag, yes.
I think he's a good up-and-coming player.
Stephen, 2 seconds are left. You've got in there with moving the goalpost, starting now.
Supposition aside, one of the most necessary.
Paul challenge.
Did you not say supposition?
No, he didn't. We've had supposing, I suppose, and now supposition. Well done, Stephen. You fooled them all. Half a second on moving the goalpost, starting now.
There could be no question, I feel.
So Stephen Fry, with a number of points in that round, including one for speaking as the whistle went, has moved forward. He's actually now overtaken Tony Hawks. He's 2 ahead of him, and he's 3 or 4 ahead of Paul Merton and Clement Freud in that order. Stephen, your turn to begin. The subject is my favourite poet. Can you tell us something about that person in this game, starting now?
Oh, well, I suppose my favourite poet used to be Wystan Hugh Auden, W.H., rather like Smith's the station as he was known as. A great, great balladeer. Oops!
It's so easy if you don't concentrate for a second, isn't it? This is the toughness of this game and the fun of it as well. 52 seconds, of course, repetition, right.
Great, yes.
My favourite poet is with you, Paul, starting now.
I didn't do many poets at school. John Manley Hopkins, the brother of...
Gerald Manley Hopkins had no brothers.
He
Gerald
did.
Manley
John Manley
he was
Hopkins-
raised by brothers, it's fair to say.
Yes.
Jesuit brothers taught him, but he
Did
had
you
no.
not
There
know
was
about
no
his
John
younger-
Manley Hopkins. You can take
Really?
that to the bank, yes.
Yeah. He didn't actually have a brother. You
You have no idea.
I know that he was raised by brothers in a Catholic order, and I thought for a moment that's what you were referring to.
I was trying to think of his name, and I only remembered it halfay through. It's such a long
I
name,
thought
I
he
remembered it halfway through.
I thought you actually said Gerald Manley.
No, he said,
No, I said
he
John
said
Manley.
John Manley Hopkins.
Jan, yes.
Brother of Gerald was as far as I got.
48 seconds, Stephen. Back with you. My favourite poet starting now.
Though you'd have to go a very long way to beat John Keats. My heart aches and a drowsy numbness pains my senses, though of hemlock I'd drunk for.
Clement challenge.
Deviation.
Why?
It might be his favourite poem, and that's not his favourite poet.
It's an example of my favourite poet's poetry.
Oh, I thought that's
You
just
can't.
how you felt.
I'm sorry. Thank you for allowing me
So,
to put
Clement, do you understand, because he's quoting from John Keats, he's deviating?
Yes.
No. So, Stephen, another point,
Good idea.
and my favourite poet still with you, and 41 seconds available starting now.
Johnny's old house by the Spanish Steps in Rome is a marvellous place of pilgrimage.
Clement challenge.
John,
John,
I
yes.
didn't say it twice.
you repeated
I
it.
said Johnny. I said Johnny's old house, because otherwise I'd be repeating John.
Oh, that's
I
right.
said Johnny. Yeah. I had to. Yeah.
You're very clever at this game. Right, 37 seconds, Stephen. My favourite poet starting now.
It contains manuscripts to his various odes to Grecian urns, nightingales, autumn. They love to do this kind of ode things, those romantic poets. Shelley was famous for his one to the West Wind, and also, of course, to the marvellous...
Clement challenge.
Of course.
Of
Oh,
course.
very likely, yes.
That was, well, listen, Clement, at last you got in with my favourite poet. 23 seconds starting now.
I think Edna St. Vincent Millay is my favourite poet because her name is so long. For a name in a game like this, nothing is better.
Paul, you
Hesitation.
I'm afraid there was, yes, Paul. So you got my favourite poet. 13 seconds starting now.
Perhaps the work of John Betjeman and all those marvellous poems about church bells and disappearing libraries in Hendon. What a wonderful poet laureate he was. Perhaps much finer than the one...
Clement challenge.
Repetition of perhaps.
Yes, you did say perhaps before.
Perhaps suppose and...
And yes. 2 seconds.
Yes. Say what I think more. Yeah.
Clement, you've gone in with 2 seconds to go on my favourite poet starting now.
Also Percy Bysshe Shelley.
So Clement Floyd with points in that round, including one of speaking of the whistle. Wendt has moved forward. He's just behind Tony Hawks and Paul Merton, who are equal in second place. Stephen Fry is still our leader. Paul Merton, it is your turn to begin. The subject is packing for a holiday. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
I suppose perhaps packing for a holiday is one of those things I really like to do. You get hold of your suitcase, you think to yourself, what am I going to put in first? Socks on the left-hand side, perhaps. Then
Who challenged first? I don't know. He was
Tony, I think.
I think it was Tony.
Everybody.
Right.
Certainly, repetition.
Yes, I quite agree.
Yes, definitely repetition.
48 seconds, Tony. Packing for a holiday starting now.
I get irritated when you go to the airport. They say, did you pack your bags yourself? No, a team of footballers did it for me. Who do you think, you stupid woman? I would sometimes say if I was in a bad mood. I'm not now. I packed my bags myself yesterday. It was a wonderful...
Paul
Is
challenge.
it a repetition of packed my bags?
No.
No.
Didn't they packed before?
Who packed your bags?
Repetition of myself.
I thought we had packed your bags.
Say who packed your bags?
Did you
repetition
pack
of
your bags yourself?
certainly.
Yes, and there's
packed,
bags,
okay.
right. Paul, you have 32 seconds. Packing for a holiday. 32 seconds, Paul, starting now.
Handkerchiefs on the inside, trousers.
Clement challenge.
We've had the side.
No, but that's
No, they
inside
have-
is one
No,
word.
he
Yeah.
said inside is one word.
Yeah.
He said on the left side for the socks.
Left-hand side.
He started off with the socks on the
I'd
left
like him
side.
to win.
Packing for a holiday, 30 seconds. Tell us about... I'm almost in this suitcase with you, you know. There's so much there. So neat and tidy.
wasn't he?
Yes. Would you come and do my packing? It's so neat.
Absolutely.
Right. 30 seconds. Packing for a holiday starting now.
Toothpaste, shaving kit, Nicholas Parsons, folded up neatly so he fits into a nice little package there. And then what you think to yourself, I'm going to take this trunk now to the airport. I'm going to board that plane.
Stephen Childs.
I'm gonna twice.
I'm
It's
going
still
to.
three
Yes,
words, isn't
right.
it, really? It's-
And
oh, dear.
I was
19
beginning of a blues lyric.
Oh, yes.
Packing for a holiday with you, Stephen. 19 seconds starting now.
You'd have to include a lot of blues lyrics because Billie Holiday needed these when she was travelling.
Tony Challenge.
Is that a hesitation?
I call that a
Well, it was a
hesitation. Yes,
mouthful of
yes,
teeth, really.
right.
It was a mess.
So,
Making a
15
feeble
seconds.
joke about packing for Billie
packing for a
Holiday.
holiday is with you, Tony, starting now.
Packing for a holiday is really best to do when you're...
Paul Childs.
Best to do.
Best to do.
It's best to do. It's really
What's
best
wrong,
to
Oliver? You're like my bloody English teacher, you are. Leave me alone. It's best to do. There's nothing wrong with
Hardly
it.
a major
Yes.
lapse.
I don't think it was a major lapse of grammar.
do. No, I think it was perhaps the way you said
It was a little bit of colloquial English, which he occasionally indulges in. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. You got it very early this time. And you have 11 seconds on packing for a holiday starting now.
Not a good thing to do if you're going to work and not going.
Clement Floyd Challenge.
Good.
Good, yes.
Repeat.
What?
He said it before.
Yes, he said good before. Not a good thing to do, and you said before
certainly
it
said
is a
Not
good
to
thing
do
to
is
do.
best to do.
Actually, everything I said, I'd said before.
Clement's got in with 8 seconds on packing for a holiday starting now.
I think peaking for a holiday is a very good resort.
Paul Challenge.
I'm going mad here. I thought he'd mispronounced the word packing. But he said Peking. But of course it's no longer known as Peking because it's changed its name, so it's
I know
deviation.
it. I know it as peaking.
And who do they know you as? Clement Frood?
Well, we do get letters, you know.
Yeah,
from
you
that
get
part of the
letters.
world. Yes, I get letters.
But despite that, you still turn up, don't you?
He does, he turns up. He does.
Don't boo him, he's right in front of you.
The letters I get from Asia are some of the loveliest and most complimentary letters I've ever had in my life.
Nicholas, I write those.
6 seconds, Clement. An incorrect challenge with you still. Packing for a holiday starting now.
Packing for a holiday is a very useful thing to do unless you want to lose your luggage, in which case it is totally
Right. So we are moving into the last round. You could make more of that, actually. Sounds like a lot of nanny goats trying to... baying for their mates. Clement Freud was then speaking as the whistle went, gained an extra point, and we're all very close as we move into the final round. Clement is only just in fourth place. He's a couple of points behind Paul Merton, who's 1 point behind Tony Hawks, who's 1 point behind Stephen Fry. So it's very, very close, and could be anybody's game. And a lovely subject to finish on: how to look cool. Clement, you as you look the coolest of all of us at the moment, and I'm sure you are a cool customer anyway. Will you talk on that subject? 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
Ideally, you get into a refrigerator with a glass door, and you'll be amazed how cool you look to people passing by. Alternately, choose friends who have poor eyesight, and then whatever happens, they are likely to say, "What a cool type this type is."
Stephen, you challenge.
I don't
Well,
want
there
to
were
win.
two types as well as quite a pause as well.
Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
want to win.
But you don't get... You don't get 2 points, but you just get 1 for either. And there's 40 seconds on how to look cool, starting now.
Wear mirror shades and black and be an arsehole, because frankly, it's a ghastly American thing, isn't it? Being cool. I can't bear it. Where's heart? Where's soul, spirit, love, joy, pleasure?
Clement challenge.
Earth, wind, fire.
Oh, yes, thank you.
2 wheres.
Yes, where?
And I inadvertently said arsehole as well, which I do apologise. I said it again! I'm sorry.
I know.
Nicholas, are we allowed to have arseholes on the BBC?
I suppose it depends who you're looking at. And Pennant has got a correct challenge. He's got...
What was the challenge? I never heard it.
Where? 2 wheres.
Oh, right, very good.
You see,
yes.
I do concentrate.
Oh, no,
as
you
say,
said
yes.
it.
How did it
And,
go with the Queen, by the way?
What's that?
How did it go with the Queen?
That is repetition, you've asked. 30 seconds, Clement, on how to look cool, starting now.
Different sports demand differing clothes.
Sorry, Paul, challenge.
I thought there was a slight hesitation there.
No.
Really? Oh,
There
Clement's
was
right.
somebody knocking.
There was somebody who was knocking
there was
and
knocking.
thumping. I don't
Yes,
know
he
whether-
knocked twice. That was the repetition.
And your light came on. Clement, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You have another point. You have 27 seconds on how to look cool, starting now.
If you want to go to the Marylebone Cricket Club at Lord's in St John's Wood, the way to look cool is to wear the proper clothes and a tie, which is red and yellow.
Stephen,
It's an
challenge.
enormous pause. He said, if you want to look cool, at the very beginning of the sentence, and that's what he said at the very beginning of his first one. If you want to look cool, get into a fridge. That's sort of the wants, which aren't
Well,
on
how
the...
to look cool is on the...
Yes, but not want, darling. Want. Want. You said want twice, darling. If you want to look cool...
You're quite right,
Yes,
he did. I was
sorry.
concentrating
Yeah,
and I was listening.
sorry.
He did say want. He did say
Yeah.
if you want to look cool. I'm sorry, Clement.
No.
It's
I'm-
a repetition of want.
I don't want to win this game.
18 seconds, Stephen, on how to look cool, starting now.
As I say, rather unpleasant people, it seems to me, look cool, and I don't like it. I think people should look nice and charming and sweet.
Tony, challenge.
Repetition of people.
Yes.
Oh, good
and,
point.
And charming as well, which you said
Was
before.
it? Oh, dear.
Yes. 12 seconds on how to look cool with you, Tony, starting now.
I feel slightly sorry for the listeners at home who can't see the good example of how to look cool from our esteemed chairman, who in every sense epitomises style, charm...
Do you want another bonus point?
Yes, please. Yes.
So Tony Hawks was speaking then as the whistle went, gained that extra point for doing so. And naturally, after the lovely things he said, one would be tempted to give him another bonus point. But I'm always very fair. I like to see justice played. And I give you the final score now. And they are very, very close. So, how do you say there's a winner? They're all winners. They've all done well. But in ascending order, it was Clement Freud in fourth place, then Paul Merton. And only 1 point ahead was Tony Hawks. And only 1 point ahead was Stephen Fry. But as we have to announce the winner, we'll say, Stephen, you're the winner this week. Thank you. It only remains me to say thank you to these 4 delightful and clever and funny players of the game. Paul Merton, Stephen Fry, Tony Hawks and Clement Freud. I thank Janet Staplehurst, who's helped me with the score and blown her whistle so delicately. We thank our producer-director, that is Claire Jones. We're indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this game. And we're very indebted to this lovely audience. So from our lovely audience here, and from me, Nicholas Parsons, and the 4 lovely panelists, goodbye. Tune in the next time you play Just a Minute. Thank you. welcome to Just a Minute. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the Minute Waltz fades away, once more it is my pleasure to welcome our many listeners throughout the world. And not only in this country, but those who listen on Radio 4, Radio 7, the Internet, and, of course, on the World Service. And also it's a great pleasure, as always, to welcome 4 exciting, talented and intrepid performers of this game. It's a great pleasure to welcome back that outstanding comedian, that versatile artist and great stalwart in Just a Minute, that is Paul Merton. And sitting beside Paul, we have someone who's played the game more often than anyone else, and he's always gives tremendous value in his own progressive and ubiquitous way. That is Clement Freud. And seated on my left, we have a comedian and a comedy actor who hasn't played the game for some time, but it's a great pleasure to welcome him back. That is Steve Frost. And beside him sits somebody who's a moment quaking, he tells me, because he's never played the game before. But we are delighted to have our first Welsh representative on the programme, and that is the lovely actor, comedian, solo performer, Victor Spinetti. Would you please welcome all 4 of them? As usual, I'm going to ask them to speak on a subject that I will give them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition or deviation. Beside me sits Janet Staplehurst, who's going to help me with the stopwatch, and she's going to blow a whistle when the 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the lovely Grand Theatre in Swansea, and we have in front of us a great Welsh audience, all excited. As only the Welsh can be excited. Dying for us to get started, so let's begin the show with Paul Merton. Topical subject to begin with, mumbles. Paul. Tell us something about mumbles in Just a Minute, starting now.
Well, Mumbles is a beautiful place just out...
Steve Stallings.
I couldn't hear him, he was mumbling.
Oh, you're showing off your comic talent too early, Steve. Right. Steve, look, the audience enjoyed your interruption,
Okay.
so we'll give you a bonus point for that. But Paul hadn't even got going, so he keeps the subject. He gets a point for being interrupted, and he continues with 58 seconds on mumbles, starting now.
Swansea, which is a beautiful place, but not perhaps...
Clement Freud challenge.
He said beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. That's what happens when you're interrupted sometimes. So that is repetition. So we give you that one. 54 seconds. You have a point there, Clement. Mumbles is with you, starting now.
And the doctor said, if you go in this room and take my trousers off, there's no question the fact that we'll come along and look at you.
Steve is challenged.
Repetition, he said twice.
I thought he was doing Marlon Brando. I would have to grant you that, because none of us could tell whether he was or wasn't. And so, Steve, we're going to hear from you on this subject, with 44 seconds available. Mumbles, starting now.
The first time I went to the Mumbles was in 1971 on a geography field trip. What a great place it was. Blowholes, stacks, wave-cut platforms. Yes, I passed my O-level. The problem was...
Paul, you tell us.
A hesitation,
It was a definite hesitation. That's it. That is Steve's technique. He goes with panache for about 10 seconds, then collapses. And it's...
There's no need to get personal.
But it's lovely, Steve. That's why we have you.
Yeah.
31 seconds. Mumbles is back with you, Paul, starting now.
Marlon Brando recently passed away, and when he appeared in the film...
Clement Freud challenge.
He died.
I'm sorry, did I indicate he'd be making a special appearance tonight?
Clement would
Do we
always
think
say...
it was a legitimate challenge, or...?
Not at all. Not at all. You have another point, Paul, and you have 27 seconds. Mumbles starting now.
Guys and Dolls, his co-star Frank Sinatra complained to the director that he couldn't hear what the previous actor was talking about because he was mumbling away. And if we look at his Oscar-winning performance in the 1971 film The Godfather...
Steve challenged.
Deviation, we can't look at it, it's radio. We can only hear it. He said if we look at his film...
Steve, come on, you're being pedantic.
Oh, it's
now.
all right if Clement does it.
So, no, an incorrect challenge. 15 seconds. Mumbles with you, Paul, starting now.
Francis Ford Coppola was the director, and there was an interesting little preview of how difficult the film tests were at the beginning. If you buy the DV thing that you can rent or...
Hesitation.
got that bit.
Steve.
DV thing.
That's right. He didn't want to repeat the word D. He's played the game quite a few times. He's got a few tricks there, yes.
Can we accept DV thing then?
I will accept that, because that's the only way you can play just a minute.
That could mean dead vole thing.
Yeah. We've never had more challenges in one round of just a minute than ever before. No, an incorrect challenge. I'm sorry, Steve. 4 seconds are still available for you, Paul, on Mumble, starting now.
This summer, Catherine Zeta-Jones and her charming, fresh-faced husband are coming to Mumble!
So, at the end of that, whoever is speaking in this game, when the whistle goes, by the way, gets an extra point. And with all the other points he got from all the many challenges that occurred in that round, Paul Merton has got a commanding lead. Two of them have yet to score, and Steve's got 2 points.
All I can think of is that, like Jack Benny said, Rochester, what am I doing here?
Your time will come.
Wow.
I thought we were in Swansea.
I'm in the...
Victor.
It's the front line here, kids.
That's all right. No, you've established that you're here.
Yes,
and they loved it.
Yes,
right. And Steve Frost, will you take the next round?
I will.
And the subject is, if I had a twin. Will you tell us something about that in just a minute, starting now?
If I had a twin, it would look exactly like Mr. Victor Spinetti. Tall, handsome, and very sexy. The problem with having a twin is, of course, that they have to wear the same clothes as you wear, which is...
Paul's challenge.
No, identical perhaps, but not the same.
Yes.
Not wearing the same clothes, are you?
The joke...
No, a very subtle but very correct challenge. So, Paul, a point for that correct challenge. You take over the subject. If I had a twin, and there are 49 seconds available starting now.
I do have a twin, and we had to wear the same pair of trousers from noon to midday. What a terrible time it was. He'd go one way, I'd go the other.
Noon to midday.
Noon to midday.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I know. So that is deviation.
Can't it be 24 hours? Noon to midday?
No, you didn't establish it was 24 hours. You just said from noon to midday, and...
and you thought that meant...
From noon to midday. I thought he slipped up.
How long is noon to midday?
You wanted to say noon to midnight. You said midday by mistake, didn't you?
No.
But you... But you did not establish that it would be from noon to midday the following day. But that would have been repetition of day.
When you hear noon to midday, you think, oh, that's no time at all.
The way you said it, we knew what you were thinking, and Victor's got in with a good and clever challenge, and he deserves it, and he has his first point, and he has 42 seconds. If I had a twin, that's the subject, Victor, starting now.
Well, I think I might have had a twin, actually, because when I was born, Auntie Nell, who was actually the
Clement challenge.
Actually,
there were two actuallys.
Oh, well, there you are.
There they are. Oh, well. So, Clement, actually, you've got the subject, and 37 seconds if I had a twin, starting now.
if I had a twin, I think my parents should have told me. It does seem deeply wrong that somewhere, if I had a twin, there's someone who looks like me, who is roughly my age.
Hesitation.
Victor?
Hesitation, roughly my age. Ooh, there was hesitation there. Yes!
It's a convincing argument.
Victor, it's lovely to hear from you, but actually it wasn't hesitation. But I'm not going to inhibit you from trying, please. Clement, 24 seconds still with you, if I had a twin, starting now.
If I had a twin, he would have been born on the 24th of April, 1900, and then a 2 and a 4, because I couldn't repeat it.
Hesitation
Yes.
there.
Yes. Victor, I agree with you. He did hesitate as he tried to struggle out of repeating those numbers. Right, so the subject is back with you. There's only 15 seconds still to go. If I had a twin, Victor, starting now.
Well, she always said, when I was born, that I was a twin, because the other one was there, she said, in the womb. I didn't realise that. And because she said my mother was so enormous, there's got to be more than one kid in there.
So Victor Spinetti was then speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point for doing so, and with others in the round, he has leapt forward. He's now in second place behind Paul Merton, just ahead of Clement Freud and Steve Frost. And Victor, it's your turn to begin.
Okay.
And the subject is Beatles. I'm sure you can tell us something about that in this game, starting now.
This year is the 40th anniversary of A Hard Day's Night, starring John Lennon, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney and George Harrison. They also went on to make Help, and they also went...
Go on, go on.
I was warned not to do this show.
Well, I can give you a tip. Don't draw attention to the mistakes.
I'm being honest.
I know, but sometimes they can be sporting, you know, and maybe overlook some of the smaller words like that. So, but you've drawn attention to it, and Paul challenged first.
Well, just because
yes, right.
Yes.
So,
Sorry.
Paul, you have Beatles, and you have 47 seconds starting now.
Although I'm a big fan of the Beatles, my expert knowledge in no way matches Victor, so I'd like him to have the subject back if he...
Right. Challenge.
Hesitation.
Victor, you challenged. What was your challenge?
He stopped. Hesitation.
Hesitation, yeah. I know how very quick of you. I'm glad you picked it up so rapidly there. So we've got the subject back. 41 seconds, Beatles, starting now.
They did another film for television called The Magical Mystery Tour. And as I was in all those films, I was stopped outside the hotel only today, and a man said to me, "You were in all the movies with the Fab Four." I said, "That's right." He said, "That was a long time ago. Are you still working?" And I said, "Yes, but if I go on doing shows like this, my career will be ruined." So I'm absolutely finished, because, you see, I was told when you come and do this show, it's like being thrown in through a pool of sharks. And I feel it's exactly what's happening, and I'm blindfolded, my hands are tied, and I think this is the biggest nightmare I've ever had in show business, and oh my God.
So Victor Spinetti kept going till the whistle went, with a little help from his friends here.
I couldn't believe it.
And,
thank you very much.
And speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point, and he's still in second place, but he's way ahead, moving ahead of the other two. That's Steve Frost and Clement Freud, just behind Paul Merton and Clement Freud. Will you take the next round? The subject is line dancing. Tell us something about that in this game. If you're thinking this isn't a natural subject for Clement Freud, I don't know why not. But Clement, tell us something about it if you can, starting now.
If you dance with a lion, I think it is essential that you let him lead. Otherwise, you have an awfully difficult time. Rumbas, Charlestons, quick steps, you name it. When the lion takes your arm, say, "Excuse me, I would like to do it the other way round." The old-fashioned waltz is something which lions do incredibly well. Slow, quick.
Paul challenge.
I was a bit too slow before slow.
That's
Slight
right.
hesitation, sadly.
So you have 34 seconds. You've got another point, of course. Line dancing is with you, Paul, starting now.
Well, look, Clement is quite right. Of all the big cats, the lion is most suited to the ballroom dance. Imagine the scene, Blackpool Tower Circus, the room is beautifully lit. Suddenly a spotlight hits the floor, a lion comes out, a magnificent...
Victor, you've
Deviation.
challenged. What's that?
Deviation.
Deviation, yes. It's line dancing.
That's
it's not
right,
lion
not
dancing.
lion dancing.
Yes, yes. Well, listen, Victor.
What's line dancing?
Don't you know what line dancing
No,
is?
lion dancing. Me and Clement are devotees.
I know you are.
we sponsor a team.
We quite often share the same lion.
It must have a very small following, because I've known anybody else who's ever done it. Anybody here ever seen any lion dancing?
Yes, look, let's see your hands. Let's see your hands, look.
Right, but anyway, it's correct, because the subject is line dancing, and Victor, you spotted it very rapidly again, and you have another point, and 22 seconds on the subject, starting now.
It's called line dancing because they actually dance in formation, all of them together, holding hands and walking up and down a room in time to the music. Sometimes they have cowboy-type music with cowboy hats and guitars.
Clement challenged.
Repetition music.
There was a repetition.
You're quite
music.
right.
Yes, it was. So, Clement, you've got line dancing, and 10 seconds to go, starting now.
There's a man with a funny hat who tells you exactly what to do with your left foot, your right, your arms, your shoulders, your rump, your thigh.
So Clement Freud, Spring was the win, gained that extra point. He's now one behind Victor Spinetti, and he's a few ahead of Steve Frost, and Victor is trailing Paul Merton by 3 points. And Paul, it's your turn to begin, and the subject is Cinderella. Tell us something about that lovely pantomime character in this game, starting now.
I was very lucky to play an ugly sister. Ronnie Corbett was my sibling.
Steve, challenge.
It wasn't lucky, it was obvious. That's deviation.
Well, all I can say is, Steve, you got a good round of applause, but...
Thank you very much.
You haven't won any friend the other side of the room. So you get a bonus point because the audience enjoyed it. Paul was interrupted. He gets a point for that. He keeps the subject. 57 seconds. Cinderella, starting now.
It was about 4 years ago in the ITV pantomime. Another, longer pantomimes that might be...
Clement challenge. Yes. Pantomime or pantomimes.
The S was rather...
Late in the word, I agree. There's not many other ways of pronouncing it.
Because it was
It's
a
sort
long
of tradition,
word.
the S comes on the end, I don't know.
Because it was a long word, you thought he'd repeat it, but he did add the S, so it's plural and singular. 51 seconds. Paul, still with you. Cinderella, starting now.
And it was a wonderful experience. I don't think I would like to do the 3-month variety. Swansea here has been the home of many a great show here at Christmas time in the Grand Theatre, but it does take a lot of... Yes, a big cheer. Big... Absolutely.
Clement challenged.
Deviation.
Why?
Got nothing to do with Cinderella.
What?
The big cheer.
Always a big cheer when Cinderella gets married. Always a big cheer.
Yeah, and he said, there's something to do with it. A big cheer for the fact that Cinderella's been on here. No, I thought it was quite legitimate.
I thought it was organic, didn't you? The way it's flowed. It was an organic flow. Did you notice?
Organic. I just thought that it was completely within the rules of just a minute. So you have 38 seconds, Paul, to continue on Cinderella, starting now.
Well, I seem to have been talking about this subject for a lifetime, and why not? Because it's one of the greatest theatrical events of the season, when you grab the little kids by the hand, and whether they want to or not, drag them into the nearest...
Clement's challenge.
Repetition of drag.
Yes.
I didn't say I dragged up as an ugly sister.
No.
Is that...
He was dressed up in drag, but he didn't use the word drag, Clement. You look at me as if you...
He said drag twice, which is called repetition. Well, who to you?
This theatre...
Is anybody taping this? Because we could play it back.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. No, but actually, I don't think 800 people in this packed theatre could be wrong when they all said together no. So I would rather go with them than...
Then...
28 seconds, Paul. Cinderella, starting now.
I remember seeing one of them on the television, and what a fantastic production it was. But you can't get the full live experience unless you're there in the flesh, sitting in your favourite seat. Row C, perhaps, number 27. And there's Granny sucking the hell out of a ball sweet.
Victor, you challenge.
Well, hesitation.
Yes, he
Wasn't sure what...
he did hesitate after he realised what he said, actually.
Exactly.
Correct challenge. You're listening well. Cinderella's with you. 11 seconds only, starting now.
The first pantomime Joan Littlewood, this great director, ever did was, in fact, Cinderella.
Paul challenge.
Well, there's hesitation there.
Yeah, you're right. It was my choice.
I thought he kept going, even though his dentures seemed to get a bit loose. I mean,
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he kept going, even though he didn't actually hesitate. So, no, incorrect challenge. So you've got another point, Victor. And you've got 6 seconds on Cinderella, starting now.
And I played for the first time an ugly sister. And it was with Brian Murphy, who played the other ugly sister.
Fortunately, the whistle went before the other ugly sister came out.
I know, right.
And so you were speaking as the whistle went. You gained an extra point for doing so. And you are moving forward with rapidity. You're still just a little way behind Paul Merton, but you're ahead of Clement Freud and Steve Frost. And Steve Frost, your turn to begin. The subject, brains. Tell us something about brains in this game, starting now.
Brains, and what a lovely pint of beer it is. 3.8 ABV. The dark brown colour, head frothy on the top as it slowly sinks down your throat. Pleasing...
Paul challenge.
Deviation, Steve's head's never been frothy on the top. He's been like that for 20 years. He's never had any froth on the top. Do you remember any froth on the top? Nicholas, you've known him for 20 years. He had froth on the top.
He did once.
Did he?
He wasn't born bald.
He was.
I mean, did you suffer from alopecia in your youth?
Sorry, from what?
Alopecia.
Bless you.
No hair at all.
No,
I'm assuming you didn't. And Paul, they enjoy the interruption, so give him a point. Steve, you've still got the subject and a point. 48 seconds. Brains starting now.
The great thing about the drink known as Brains is that you can have at least 20 in one night and get absolutely jolly on it, and not go looking for trouble on the streets of Swansea. People will greet you and say, he's been drinking Brains. He's all right. And that is absolutely true. The only problem with it is, of course, it makes you urinate a lot more than you would if you were imbibing another type of liquid refreshment. Lager, per se, perchance, perhaps. Who knows? But playing darts whilst drinking Brains is the best thing.
Yeah. Chance.
Repetition of drinking.
Yes.
It's the only way to do it.
And 15 seconds. You've gone in on Brains. Clement starting now.
Brains with black butter is one of my absolutely favourite restaurant dishes. The audience may well jeer or make noises, but there is no better main course on a warm summer's day.
I hate to have to tell our listeners that one or two people in the audience are throwing up at this moment. But Clement kept going with the subject because he was keeping the rules of just a minute. He's moved forward, and an extra point for speaking as the whistle went. He's now equal with Victor Spinetti in second place, behind Paul Merton, and just ahead of Steve Frost. And Victor, it's your turn to begin again. And the subject is my favourite Welsh celebrity. I'm sure you have many, but tell us about one of them anyway, starting now.
My favourite Welsh celebrity must, of course, be Richard Burton, the great Welsh actor. When you do an impersonation of Richard, you have to actually...
Clement challenge.
Repetition of Richard.
Oh, I thought you could use the name in the thing.
No.
Say the name, Richard Burton.
You can repeat anything in the subject.
I
my
got you.
favourite
Sorry,
Welsh
yes.
celebrity.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Yep.
Yes.
Goodbye.
You'll be all right once we start recording.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Clement, correct challenge. 49 seconds. My favourite Welsh celebrity starting now.
One is sort of seduced into saying J.P.R. Williams, Cliff Morgan, Clem Thomas. But my favourite Welsh celebrity is Owen Glendower, friend of Henry IV, Part 2, and famous for saying, I can call spirits from the vasty deep, to which Harry Hotspur replied, and so can I, and so everyone, but will they come...
Steve challenge.
There's a lot of so-so going on.
There was a so can
The
I.
speech was a bit so-so.
You did say so twice. And in just a minute...
As did Shakespeare.
Yes. And that is repetition within
precedent.
just a minute. And so Steve had a correct
Well,
challenge.
Shakespeare wouldn't be any good at this. Would to be or not to be?
Every the first, every the second, every...
Steve, you have my favourite Welsh celebrity. 22 seconds available starting now.
My favourite Welsh celebrity was Ivor the Engine. That little train that would go up the hill and back down again, puffing away like the marvellous piece of machinery he was, although, of course, it was only a drawing.
Clement challenge.
Repetition of course.
Yes,
I didn't say horse.
of course. You did say of course when you started. So Clement, you've got back in on my favourite Welsh celebrity. 3 seconds available starting now.
I just wanted to confirm that Anne Robinson is not.
And so Clement, again speaking as the whistle went with other points in the round, has moved forward. He's now only 1 point behind our leader, Paul Merton, and he's 2 or 3 points ahead of Victor Spinetti and then Steve Frost. And I'm going to give you that situation because we're moving into the final round. And Paul, it's your turn to begin. The subject, what gives me a sleepless night? You have 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
The last time I appeared on Just a Minute was in Cheltenham, and I had a very sleepless night that particular evening because after the recording I went to the hotel, and what a wonderful time we had sitting around the table listening to Tony Hawk's policy on how you would advance lawn tennis in this country. And that went on till 5 o'clock in the morning, drinking lots of red wine, and it was fantastic. The next day I had a writers' meeting, appointment in time for about 10:30, I think, and I turned up at 4 o'clock. But I did tell them I didn't...
Clement Chalmers.
Repetition, unless you think 4:30 is not a 4. I'd call
Right.
that repetition.
It is repetition.
Oh.
33 seconds. What gives me a sleepless night? Clement, starting now.
I suppose I am a sleepless night. Before I received a title in 1987, I used to be just somebody who couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. But now, everybody...
Victor Challenge. Yes, I agree with you. It was
Yes, but
hesitation.
now-
Yes, hesitation. Victor, well listened. You have 21 seconds. Tell us something on the subject of what gives me a sleepless night. Victor, starting now.
This show gave me a sleepless night last night, and I was worrying about...
Steve
No,
Challenge.
sorry, I was going repetition of night, but that's the word on the...
Yes, you
card.
can repeat the words
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the card
So I do
in the context
Yes,
or out of them.
sure. I
So
apologise, Victor.
another point to you, Victor. And you have 16 seconds. What gives me a sleepless night? Starting now.
I was like an owl staring at the ceiling, waiting for the moment when I had to wake up and think, oh my God, I am doing just a minute. I cannot believe this, because it is a nightmare. I was told this. I was warned.
Clement Challenge.
He talked about doing just a minute earlier on.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
I give up.
Don't give up. You're doing very well. You're in third place, a very strong third place. Clement, a correct challenge. 5 seconds. What gives me a sleepless night? Starting now.
What gives me a sleepless night is an inability to close my eyes and go to sleep.
And an awful lot of points have been scored in this show. In the fourth place was Steve Frost with quite a lot of points, but he finished just behind our first-time player of the game, Victor Spinetti, who, in spite of all his anxieties, did extraordinarily well. He was a few points behind Paul Merton, who frequently triumphs in this game, but just ahead of him was Clement Freud, so we say, Clement, you are the victor this week. A round of applause for them. It only remains for me to say thank you to these four delightful players of the game. That is Paul Merton, Victor Spinetti, Steve Frost and Clement Freud. I also thank Janet Staplehurst, who's helped me with the score and blown her whistle with such aplomb when the 60 seconds were up. We thank our producer, director, Claire Jones, and we also are indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this game, and we are deeply indebted to this lovely audience here in the Grand Theatre in Swansea, who have enjoyed the show but cheered us magnificently and given us a show to remember. We hope you have had one as well, and tune in the next time we play Just a Minute. Until then, from all of us, goodbye!
And tune in at the same.
Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the Minute Waltz fades away, once more it is my huge pleasure to welcome our many listeners, not only those who receive us via Radio 4, Radio 7, the World Service, the Internet, or wherever they're tuned in, and also to welcome to the programme four exciting, experienced, intrepid and delightful players of the game. And once again, they've come together to show their skill and expertise, their wit and rapport, and have fun as we play this amazing game. And they try and speak without hesitation, repetition, or deviation for just a minute or even less. And those four people are, sitting on my right, Paul Merton and Clement Freud, and seated on my left, Tony Hawkes and Charles Collingwood. Would you please welcome all four of them? Beside me sits Janet Staplehurst, who's going to run the stopwatch for me and blow the whistle when 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Everyman Theatre, which is in that delightful spa town of Cheltenham. And we have a lovely Cheltenham audience here, ready to cheer us on our way as we begin the show with Clement Freud. And the subject, Clement, is how to recognise a spy. There's almost a topical reference there. But Clement, take the subject. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
You look for dandruff. I think that's all.
Wait a minute, Tony, you've challenged.
Well, I think he hesitated because he stopped, frankly, hadn't he? He'd
He certainly
completed his
hesitated.
entire knowledge on the subject and he thought, That's enough.
That's his complete knowledge of spies. So, Tony, it was a hesitation. We've never had a hesitation so rapidly before. 57 seconds are still available. You tell us something about how to recognise a spy starting now.
If they greet you by saying the geese fly south in the winter from the Cheltenham cradles of...
Cheltenham's cradles of... Hesitation.
Well, to be fair, Russia is probably their first language. Russian.
Yes, we interpret that as hesitation too, Charles. So, as I should have said before, whoever gains the subject gains a point for doing so, and you have 50 seconds, Charles, on how to recognise a spy starting now.
There are some very famous spy cartoon prints which are recognised because they normally are of football.
Tony.
Yes?
Well, I think he went into another language.
I
think hesitation.
Yes. Tony, 42 seconds are still available. You tell us something how to recognise a spy, starting now.
If you've recognised a spy once before by meeting them at a party, the next occasion on which you meet them should be much easier. Unless, of course, they're wearing a brilliant disguise, such as a big moustache, glasses, one of those plastic nosy things attached to it, or any number of other methods for this. I would recognise a spy myself by them looking at me with binoculars through an opposing house, looking into... Hello.
Repetition of looking.
Yes, he was two looking, so that's repetition. You have a point for a correct challenge, Paul, and you take over how to recognise a spy. 14 seconds available, starting now.
I should imagine it's quite difficult to recognise a spy because by dint of their profession they shouldn't be able to be easily recognised. I suppose if there was a man...
Clement challenge.
He's supposed before.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's something, I suppose. Two proposals. So we're going to hear from everybody on this round as Clement's got a point for a correct challenge, takes over the subject. 5 seconds to go, starting now.
Look into their sponge bags and see what sort of shampoo they have. It gives...
In just a minute, whoever is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point. On this occasion, it was Clement Freud. He's now equal with Tony Hawks in the lead, and they're 1 point ahead of Charles Collingwood and Paul Merton. And Tony, it's your turn to begin. So will you take the next round? The subject is freebies. Tell us something about freebies in this game, starting now.
It's one of the huge ironies of life that the greater your success, the more freebies you seem to be given. People in rock bands make millions of pounds, and then companies come along and say, we'll give your sneakers free if you wear them on stage. Don't pay for that guitar. Here's one. And then the rest of us, the poor little people left at the bottom, do we get any freebies when we go in the supermarket? Yes, a tiny little bit of horrible orange juice they give us as we're walking past, which we don't...
Charles.
Several gives there.
Yes, there were several gives, so there were repetition. So, Charles, you have a correct challenge. You get a point for that. You take over the subject, which is freebies. There are 32 seconds available, starting now.
As an impoverished actor, I spend my life trolling round trying to find places that will give me freebies. Because life is hard enough when you have to pay for things. So if some charity will just give me something, then...
Tony, challenge.
Repetition of give.
You said it before.
Oh, I said it before.
We'll all give, we are. Yeah. Yes, you were surprised you said it, didn't you?
We're all give, Tony and I.
Yes, you're giving. You're sitting together and you're both of a giving nature. There are 20 seconds still available for you, Tony, on freebies starting now.
Oh, for a gift that you might receive from somebody for which you didn't have to pay. This is obviously a freebie. You get terrible things at functions.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Finger slipped.
Fingers.
Go on.
Well, I'm sorry if we have a Freudian slip in the middle of the show. I mean, what we have to do is someone's interrupted, they get a point for that. So, Tony, you have another point, you have freebies, and you have 11 seconds starting now.
I sat down at a function once, and the freebie was a sundial emblazoned with the company's name across it, as if I've got a use for that.
Paul, challenge.
Well, I don't know. First of all, he's moaning he doesn't get any freebies. And then when somebody presents him with a beautiful sundial, he says he doesn't want it. I mean, this is just deviation. What's the matter with him? I don't get any freebies. I wish I got freebies.
So you're saying it's deviation because he says he didn't get any freebies.
Yes, exactly.
And now he said he has got a freebie.
Exactly.
All right, deviation. Paul, we're going to hear... Oh, and you've got him with 1 second to go. Yeah. That hasn't won you many friends in the audience. 1 second on freebies, Paul, starting now.
It's a plastic disc you throw.
So at the end of that round, Paul Merton was speaking as a whistle. Wen gained that extra point for doing so. He's one behind Tony Hawks, and they're just ahead of Clement Foyt and Charles Collingwood. Charles, it's your turn to begin. The subject is whistle blowing. Can you tell us something about whistle blowing in this game starting now?
On the whole, I'm not remotely interested in whistleblowing, except when I play Just a Minute, when my eye moves along to Janet, who I know that at the end of 60 seconds will be blowing her whistle. And the longer I can continue to talk without my 3 fellow panelists, of whom I am so fond, I can possibly win a round after all. Because
I don't know what that was, Charles. It wasn't just hesitation. No. It was a sort of complete glottal stop of everything. You took in air and water and everything.
Could you pass me my tablets, Nicholas?
I think you need them. But you were going. You had them actually spellbound for a moment.
Oh.
It was such a dramatic performance. Oh. And I should explain to our listeners, he does put huge drama into his performance. He acts out everything. He was looking at Janet and feeling every emotion as he did so. But anyway, it was a hesitation, Paul, and you have the subject, and you have 34 seconds. Whistle blowing starting now.
What would the FA Cup final be like without the referee blowing his whistle in the middle of it all? A bit of a shambles, I should imagine. If you take your mind back to this year's event, I think it was Manchester United playing somebody else. I really can't remember at this stage exactly who it was, but I'm sure it will come back to me in time. Now, the official...
Clement Challenge.
Deviation.
Why?
I think it will.
Millwall!
Came back to me.
Right. So what we do there is we all enjoyed Clement's interruption, but it wasn't a legitimate challenge, so he gets a bonus point for that. I think we should give you a bonus point for your Millwall. And also a point for being interrupted. 18 seconds on whistle blowing starting now.
When I was a child, trying to blow a whistle, in other words, being able to make a whistling sound with your mouth, was something I really wanted to do, but I was never any good at it. There was one kid in my school who was particularly superb, and he could create the most wonderful noise just by pursing his lips together.
So Paul Merton was speaking as the whistle. Wayne gained that extra point for doing so, and he's taken a strong lead ahead of the other 3. And also, Paul, it's your turn to begin. The subject is other people's children. Will you tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now?
Well, I'm looking at an audience that consists of other people's children. Oh, hang on, I'll tell a lie. Throw 4, you're mine, aren't you? There was a time when I wanted to have children, but now, perhaps as I get older, I think that maybe it's passed me by. Other people's children are a delight, but they do go home. And that's a wonderful thing, that at the end of the day, when they've smeared jam all over the television set and they've made a general mess, you can say goodbye, and off they go to their respective houses. I think other people's children, they were people I went to school with, actually, they are tremendously good fun, providing you can limit...
Tony Challenge.
Repetition of good.
Ah.
Yes.
Are you sure, Nicholas?
Yes, absolutely sure. You do this to me all... There's always on one occasion you say to me, are you sure, Nicholas? Yes.
Then your eyes glaze over and you haven't got a clue.
You said about being a very good idea to send them home, and then you said, oh, good there.
Oh, he's hot. He's on fire.
So I am listening all the time. I'm concentrating like stink. 28 seconds. Tony, for you, on other people's children, starting now.
The world is full of other people's children, and in many ways this is why it is in the state it's in, because people view it like this instead of saying we are one family who can live together in peace like we do in this theatre tonight. The love in this place is unbelievable. I'm moved, in fact, by the...
Paul Challenge.
Well, there's no love up on stage. I don't know what you're saying. This is a love. Is this your idea of love? Interrupting each other, challenging people? That's not love, that's competition.
I always challenge in a loving way.
So what is your challenge within the rules of just a minute?
I don't think the whole theatre is full of love.
Well, no, but he was giving one of those sort of religious things that he's known for, and he suddenly thought...
No, Nicholas, you're mixing him up with the Archbishop of Canterbury. Definitely mixing him up.
I think he thought it was Sunday night service, actually, that he was doing, and he was suddenly taking over, and his clerical collar came out, and he was... And the fact that he was with the parsons as well, I suppose, made him feel that it was a religious event. But, no, I think he's entitled to express those thoughts on this subject. And so, Paul, they enjoyed what you said, so you get a bonus point. You were interrupted, Tony. You get another point. You have other people's children still, and 5 seconds starting now.
Other people's children, they come round your house, they're sick on the floor, they turn the television up, no one disciplines them.
So, Tony Hawkes was speaking as a whistle-when, gained that extra point. He's moved forward. He's just one behind our leader, Paul Merton, and he's 3 or 4 ahead of Clement Freud and Charles Collingwood. And, Clement, your turn to begin. A nice topical subject for Cheltenham, the Gold Cup. Tell us something about the Gold Cup, starting now.
There are Gold Cups in horse racing in Ayr, Chester, York.
Yes.
I think is a hesitation. Unless he was saying air, of course, in Scotland, where there is racing.
Yes, he was doing one of his listings, but unfortunately on this occasion, he didn't crack the full list out before he erred. So your challenge is correct, and you have 54 seconds. You tell us something about the Gold Cup, Charles, starting now.
The middle of March is one of the most exciting times of the year for me, when the Gold Cup builds up. I look at the list of horses, feeling this is my chance to make a fortune. And on this occasion, last year, of the Gold Cup, I didn't, because the damn thing fell. But I hold no bitterness towards horse racing in this lovely town of yours, except it's cost me millions. And I don't see why every year you should...
Tony, you challenge.
Why was he betting in lira? We know what this man does for a living. He works for the BBC. How is he betting millions?
I think he was using it sort of colloquially, that phrase.
Oh, okay.
We often say about millions when we often mean a few pounds. I mean, he was in full...
You're not in banking, are you?
People...
Can I buy your house?
I occasionally, I do on this show give the benefit of the doubt, and I think, speaking colloquially, we do use that phrase in millions when we don't mean only a modest amount.
I think you're right to give the benefit of the doubt, Nicholas. And may I say what a fine job you're doing, generally.
You're searching for another bonus point.
I may need it later.
So the benefit of the doubt goes to Charles Collingwood on this occasion, and he was stopped in full flood. It's such an utterly dramatic performance. It was almost over the top. But the Gold Cup is back with you, Charles, and 27 seconds available starting now.
Actually, every year my wife and I go and stay with some friends who have a large plasma television screen and a line through to the local bookmaker. We have champagne and canapes and...
Tony, challenge.
The BBC are paying him way too much. Plasma screens and lines of his friends.
But actually, Tony, he did establish it was his friend's house. Yeah. He's got some rich friends, obviously.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right. But, Tony, the audience enjoyed your interruption. Yeah. So give Tony his bonus, which he's been searching for ages. So you've got the bonus point. Charles has got another point for being interrupted. 16 seconds, the Gold Cup, Charles, starting now.
We abide with these people because my wife and I can't afford it.
Paul, challenge.
Repetition of wife.
Your wife came into it earlier on.
She did.
She did.
She comes into a lot of things in my life.
Yeah. That's handy.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it, Charles. Paul, the correct challenge, 12 seconds, the Gold Cup starting now.
I won a prize at school when I was 12 years old, and it was a beautiful, solid gold cup.
Clement, challenge.
Liar.
Shall I go and get it?
We don't know whether you did or not, but you've said it, and I'm sure in just a minute you can say what you like. But they did enjoy what Clement said, so give Clement the bonus point. Paul was interrupted. He might have been exaggerating. He might have been, in his childish imagination, it might have been real gold. And who are we to put it out of his mind? Dissuade him from his lovely thoughts. 7 seconds, Paul. The Gold Cup starting now.
The headmaster presented it to me and he said, remember in years to come, when you're sitting next to Clement Freud, tell him he's wrong!
I think in a child's fantasy world it was gold. But, Paul, you were speaking as a whistle when gained that extra...
Why is it so unbelievable that I might have won a prize at school?
No, I didn't. I'm sure you won many prizes. I couldn't believe that any school would give gold cups.
No, I made it up.
I know.
Solid ones at that.
Gold. That's what he told me.
Solid gold. That's what he told you. Yes, right.
And
you, as an innocent 7-year-old, believed him.
I did. Yes.
That's right. It's a lovely world of fantasy in which you took us. But Clement still got his point, and you got a point for speaking as a whistle went. You've taken the lead ahead of Tony Hawkes, Charles Collingwood, and Clement Freud in that order. And Tony Hawkes, your turn to begin. The subject is feedback. Tell us something about feedback in this game starting now.
Take yourself back to the 60s. You're in the hottest group around. You're recording your new single, Day Tripper. George Harrison, your guitarist, gets...
Clement challenged.
Repetition of your.
Yes, your. Too many yours there.
True, no, I did a lot
They are the rules, audience. That's the way we play the game. He was listening very carefully. Clement, you're in with 51 seconds to go. The subject is feedback starting now.
When you go to Cheltenham, the feedback you get is about the Gold Cup, quite especially Best Mate, who won it this year for the second time, but also Arkle and the great...
Charles. As a hesitation, yes. 40 seconds, Charles. Tell us something about feedback starting now.
Feedback is a Radio 4 programme that is on every week, where people can write in and criticise the shows they've been listening to. Let us all pray they don't do that for this programme tonight.
Clement challenged.
Repetition of programme.
Programme, yes. Yes, right. And 29 seconds with you, Clement, on feedback starting now.
Golden Miller, I seem to remember, was probably the most famous dual winner of the Cheltenham Gold Cup.
Tony challenge.
Deviation.
Why?
Absolutely nothing to do with feedback.
He tried to establish previously that he had the feedback about the Gold Cup, but he didn't re-establish it. So that is deviation. So
it would have been repetition if I had established it.
Give him another bonus point. We like that one. 21 seconds for you, Tony, with a point. Feedback starting now.
And from the amp, the noise came back. This whizzing, whirring feedback. And George Martin being a...
Paul challenge.
Repetition of George Harrison.
You've George Harrison before. 14 seconds, Paul, with you on feedback starting now.
Jimi Hendrix became known in the 1960s as perhaps the arch exponent of feedback guitar, and it was something that was perhaps discovered.
Clement challenge.
Two perhapses.
Yes, two perhaps. Perhaps. So, Clement, you're in
doing
with...
that.
I know. I suppose you do keep doing it, perhaps.
It's a new thing I've started doing, isn't it?
Yes, right, yeah. So 6 seconds available, Clement. Feedback starting now.
The feedback I got from the football was...
Paul challenge.
Deviation.
Why?
He's not talking about the Cheltenham Gold Cup.
And you were waiting for it. Give Paul a bonus point. We enjoy the interruption. But Clement gets a point because he was interrupted. 3 seconds for you, Clement. Still feedback starting now.
6-0 sort of feedback I got from Portugal.
So Clement Freud, speaking as a whistle when gained that extra point. He's had many other points in that round, and he's leapt forward. He's just 3 behind Paul Merton. He's 1 ahead of Tony Hawkes and 4 ahead of Charles Collingwood. And Clement, it's your turn to begin. And the subject now, strip poker. Tell us something about strip poker in this game, starting now.
I was invited to play strip poker at Cheltenham Ladies' College. And I said, please, could you just remind me of the rules? Is a flush better than a pair? And there was a very long pause before anyone could tell me that actually a strip straight.
Oh, Tony, what was that?
Repetition of straight.
Yes.
Yes, you did repeat straight. It was a pity because they were really enjoying that. I think it would really set their imaginations flying, Clement. But, Tony, you got a correct challenge. You have strip poker, and you have 39 seconds starting now.
Strip poker is a much better game to play when your guests are Jennifer Aniston, J-Lo, Christine Aguilera, rather than Nicholas Parsons or the Archbishop of Canterbury. Although quite why those two would be round having dinner at your house is another matter. But I like to play strip poker. It adds a certain amount of excitement to the evening. Poker played in an ordinary manner, just for cash, not enough going on there. Let's see if you're really prepared to get stuck in and get your kit off. That's
Paul, challenge.
Repetition of get.
Get stuck in. Too many gets. Get stuck in. Get your kit off. Paul, you've got him with 11 seconds. Tell us something about strip poker starting now.
I think perhaps the appeal of strip poker is the idea that you can just take your clothes off at a random thing, and it doesn't matter who you're sitting next to at all, because it can just be...
This is the reason why sometimes people say this programme should be on television. Because as Paul was speaking then, that huge reaction from the audience was that he started to strip, and they enjoyed seeing his hairy chest.
Yeah, I wanted on repetition of nipples.
Fortunately, he only had 11 seconds, so otherwise, if he'd had the whole minute, we might have got right down to something quite embarrassing. So, Paul, you were speaking as the whistle went. You got that extra point for doing so. You've increased your lead as we go into the final round. And, Tony, your turn to begin. The subject is texting. Can you do something about texting in just a minute, starting now?
This is something which goes on an extraordinary amount now, particularly outside schools. Kids with these mobile phones texting each other. That wouldn't have happened 25 years ago, largely because those kind of things weren't kicking around, so they couldn't have...
Tony, challenge.
Did I?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
I think you're finding this speaking. I have a number of little lights in front of me, and whose ever buzzer is
One
pressed
of them's
first.
a life support machine.
Tony's light came on,
Yeah.
so, Tony, I've got to take your challenge. What was
Well,
it?
I was going to challenge myself for deviation, but I've realised I wasn't deviating at all.
So you haven't got a good challenge?
Hang on. I think I lose out either way here, don't I?
So I can't give you a point for a correct challenge. I can't even give you a point for being... I can't give you a point for being interrupted.
Can you give me a point for psychically pressing my buzzer?
No, I think what I shall have to do
Can
is...
you give me a point
Yes.
for buzzing? For buzzing, because he repeated kind. I mean, it was just playing the game.
Charles, contain yourself.
I'm terribly emotional.
Really, don't get so passionate. This isn't the Archers.
Nicholas?
Yes?
I've got a challenge now.
What?
Repetition of kind.
Right. And that's what Charles spotted. He's pressed his buzzer, but your light came on. You hadn't got a legitimate challenge, so I'm going to be very generous and say, Charles, you have 46 seconds, texting starting now.
You press your little machine on A or B or C.
And, Clement Charles. Or, Clement, or.
Yes.
42 seconds, texting with you starting now.
I would be very good at texting if I had a mobile telephone. In the absence of this, I do semaphore, which is really quite fun.
All challenged.
Hesitation.
Yes, it was hesitation. Give him a bonus point, because they did enjoy that huge laugh he had. But, Paul, you have a correct challenge. You have texting, and there are 32 seconds starting now.
Rather like Sir Clement next to me, I too don't have a mobile phone. I haven't owned one now for several years. In fact, I don't think I've ever purchased one of those instruments. No, I have actually.
Tony, you challenge first. Hesitation.
Yes, I think there was a hesitation.
21 seconds, texting starting now.
Imagine a world where we didn't have mobile phones. Yes, I said
Paul,
that
challenge.
I don't have to imagine it. That's the world I live in. I don't have a mobile phone.
No,
but he has said mobile phones before.
Texting as a subject, 17 seconds starting now.
I remember when I studied my history A-level,
Tony, yes.
We
call that
interpret that as
hesitation,
hesitation.
yes. Yeah. Tony, you had a correct challenge. 13 seconds, texting starting now.
There's been a magnificent innovation lately, predictive texting, where using your digits you tap in what you think might be a word. The computer inside the instrument recognises what it thinks you are going to say.
Charles has challenged.
There were 2 watts.
There were 2 watts, yes.
That's the power in the phone.
Yeah. Won't work otherwise. Won't work. It's quite right, won't work.
And Charles, you are listening well because you've got in with half a second to go on texting starting now.
Whenever I can hear...
Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for in this delightful game. It's all incredibly close. They've all got so many points. Tony Hawks, who's won on many occasions before, only just came in 4th place, but he was only 1 point behind Clement Freud, who was only 1 point behind Charles Collingwood, but 3 or 4 points out ahead of them was Paul Merton. So we say, Paul, you are the winner this week. And so it only remains for me to say thank you to these 4 delightful, humorous and clever players of the game. Paul Merton, Tony Hawks, Charles Collingwood and Clement Freud. I also thank Janet Staplehurst, who's helped me with the score, and she's blown her whistle with great aplomb when the 60 seconds were up. We thank our producer, Claire Jones. We are indebted to Ian Messiter, who created this game, and we are very grateful to our lovely audience here in the Everyman Theatre in Cheltenham, in this lovely spa town, who've had a wonderful time. They've come here. From them, from me, Nicholas Parsons, goodbye. Tune in next time we play. Just a minute.
And next week at the same time, Just a Minute will be coming from London, where the panellists will be Paul Merton, Clement Freud, Julian Clary and Linda Smith.